We are streaming. We are live. Can people post on the Twitters or the YouTube? Not the YouTubes. We're on YouTube. Post on the Twitters.
I can. I just need the link, and I can post on Twitter.
I am grabbing.
It still says Ocarina of Time.
It says Ocarina of Time randomizer.
Yeah, that's not what we're doing.
You need to fix that. This is not the randomizer. This
Hylian
is not...
Games.
You wish it was.
Oh no.
Oh, it's good to be back.
What's a podcast without some technical issues? Here's the link though.
Alright, cool. Thanks.
But
Okay.
There.
probably
It's
need to.
Breath of the Wild 2 news and Link's Awakening review. We're going to talk about that fake screenshot when we talk about the Breath of the Wild news as well.
Screenshots. Okay. Cool. Beans.
If you guys can post on, or Daniel, if you can post on Z
I
Discord.
got Twitter as well. I'll do both here. Yes.
I will post to Twitter as well.
Myself. Yeah. 𝐴𝐵𝐢𝐿𝐿. When are you gonna change your Twitter handle to 𝐴𝐵𝐢𝐿𝐿?
Christmas.
Oh, okay. Wait. Luke, is it just Hylian Luke, or is it at Luke Hylian?
It's
No.
it's Hyrulean Luke on Twitter.
Hyrulean Luke. Ah, there you are.
Ah, okay. Found it.
Someone stole Hylian Luke, so I had to use.
Oh, that
Kill
sucks.
them.
Kill them, slay them.
Slay them all!
Oh yeah, this reminds me. When we went in to do the interview with the IGN people, the IGN people seen me tummy.
They seen your tummy?
Yeah.
Seen your tummy. Oh no.
Oh dude, the foam thing fell off. Oh well.
Jesse's using a
Oh.
professional mic.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to start dealing with those in a couple months for school. That's gonna be fun.
I just
Yay.
like these are fun, but you have to stay close to them. So I'm like, what if instead of me staying close to the mic, what if the mic stays close to me?
Stay close to me.
And I hate when people have like the big microphones.
Close to me too.
Like when you watch a Let's Play or something, and the microphone's like covering up the person's face like this.
And
it's like-
they're like just French kissing the microphone.
Yeah, and it's like, why do you even have a webcam on if it's only showing your like microphone?
Welcome to the Legend of Zelda ASMR.
Yeah, and if you watch any professional videos, like actual professional, not BuzzFeed stupid stuff, but like actual professional things, it's people, they'll have the microphone like maybe a foot away from them on the desk and like to the side, so it can still pick them up clearly, but it's not like covering their face. Or like when you're watching an interview and they're holding the microphone up to them, they're not like holding it up to their face like this. It's like you can still see their face, but you get these people on YouTube that like has the microphone right here, and it's like, what is even the point? Like, are
They're
you
like,
afraid someone?
hey everybody, welcome to my video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, Rick.
Lick and subscribe.
The lick. Yeah.
Leak.
Leak it.
Yeah.
And
So-
it sounds very. It sounds grainy. Then it's
Don't forget to leak.
like bubble wrap. Just.
Oh yeah, I also wanted to use the lapel mic because, not just to test it out to see how it does, but
Ooh, RMFH.
my laptop, like the fan sometimes gets loud, and if the other microphone, like it has to stay on the desk next to the loud fan in the laptop, but it's like if it just gets too loud, I can like just scoot over a little bit and magic. Anyways, are we ready?
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah, I'm just flirting with people in the chat, so I'm ready.
Cool.
Oh, Daniel, always a flirt.
It would be cool if Rick possibly wanted to join for like a bit, I guess.
Well, I don't know. He's there in the
Post
chat.
in the Discord.
Yeah.
Tell people that we need their questions in the Discord.
Oh,
I
yes.
did it earlier, but we need more.
Let's do it. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong Discord.
Let's do this thing.
Okay.
And the hashtag Zelda Mailbag chat.
Oh, guess what? We're getting a cool game soon.
Getting a game?
Yeah.
It's a game.
Ukulele.
It's a brand new game that you've
Oh,
never...
the side-scrolling ukulele?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Thank
Or was
you,
it
Platonic.
Impossible Lair? The Impossible Lair. Impossible Underwear.
Yeah. It's
Yes. Christy G.
it
hello.
it is thank you Platonic, but it's also thank you cute girl that runs social media for Platonic.
That's her name. Her parents.
Oh, literally, you can look at it on her birth certificate. It's cute girl that
Yes.
runs Platonic.
Yeah, she really had her work cut out for her. So she had no choice, basically.
All right, I'm gonna
like so-
fix you guys here.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, are you
Are
saying we're
Just
gonna
since it's-
we're gonna have like a 6-person podcast with like the four of us, and then
Oh,
Hyrule Gamer?
Because it's a slow news week. So we just need more people to talk about less news.
Wait, so is
Justin,
RMFH
it's
joining? Or
Is he?
Hyrule Gamer? I don't know. Anyone can
I
join.
don't know. Y'all can join.
But let's
Chat here just
go
asked
ahead and
why
get
we
started.
have the same chair, Jesse.
Oh, because 𝐴𝐿 was nice enough to send to us because they love our videos and stuff.
Yes, it's
Not-
the most expensive free chair I've ever had. That's because I had to pay customs. So it was, but no, it's super.
Wait, did you pay customs?
Or maybe it was, I don't know. I had to pay something when it got here.
Oh.
I think it was FedEx. I don't know. It's all good. It was still a very heavily discounted chair, all things considered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's. Ow! I keep doing that. I keep hitting my own hand. It's a good chair though. That's my point. That's all.
Oh yeah, this news story. I'll get into it a little bit later, but in Twilight Princess, they did the same thing.
They did the same thing.
Yeah, they completely switched around, like where.
Oh, Hidden Village.
No.
No.
Ordon
Okay.
Village was somewhere else. The translation was a bit off because it was one of the really old Iwata asks.
Okay.
So he was talking to Aonuma or Miyamoto, one of the two, and they had mentioned, like, the way they worded it is either the starting area was a completely different place on the map, which could have meant you started not in Ordon Village but a different area, or it could have meant that Ordon Village, the starting area, was on a different side of the map. So it's like one of those two. Either you started in a different location, or the location that you started in was in a different place. And then they also talk about when they added in the Hidden Village,
Mm-hmm.
it caused them to completely swap around everything else. Which is why there's like long, tiny little narrow paths to some of the places. Because the way that they built Twilight Princess was kind of the way that Skyward Sword looks. Because, you know, Skyward Sword's like just 3 major regions.
Yeah.
And then no real overworld. With Twilight Princess, it was kind of the same thing. They're like, let's make 𝐾𝐿 Village. Let's make Lake Hylia. Let's make Ordon Village. Let's make the castle. Now let's put all of the, like, let's connect them somehow. And that's why there's like long, narrow paths to them. Whereas
That's
in
all they needed to do with Skyward Sword, and that would have made the game like. That would have removed a big criticism of the game. For me.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
That be how it do though.
I guess we will talk about the Hyrule swapped thing first. So you guys ready? Let's do it. Rick or Hyrule Gamer joining or anything?
They have declined the invitation.
Cool.
It is 4 a.m. for Hyrule Gamer, and Rick was working on videos all day, so he's just gonna stay in the chat.
It looks like I have like little
Where
curls
he
in my hair.
belongs. No, I'm kidding.
Yikes.
Love you, Rick. So.
All right. So we're all good?
Yep.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hylian Gamescast, episode 93, I believe. We're also on iTunes and Spotify, so please give us a review on iTunes, and we will give you a shout-out and read it live during our podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, 𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐿. I am here with...
Me, I'm Daniel. Hi. He said I really fumbled that one. I'm Daniel. You probably know me as Capt Bergerson, though.
Yep. I am Luke, but I am known as Hylian Luke.
My name is Tevin, but you guys may know me as Tevy Bear.
Your name's Tevin?
Yeah.
Why
it's
would
Kevin,
you just,
but
why
it's
would
Kevin,
you just,
but with a T.
Why would you just drop that on us?
Spelling error on his.
Why would you drop that on me out of nowhere? You didn't give me time to prepare? You're just like, hi, my name's Tevin.
Bro, that's reaction. Your name's Tevin?
Anyways, today we're going to be discussing a lot of great Nintendo and Zelda news and details, and ending with our Zelda Mailbag, where we'll be answering questions sent in from fans like yourself. As I mentioned earlier, as part of our Patreon rewards, among the many other things mentioned, is a guaranteed shout-out during our video. So a huge thank you to 𝐓𝐿𝐿, who will actually be joining us on our next Hylian Gamescast, Manboy Cave, David, Monica, Bootleg Boy, Renjamin, Derek, Shadow to Us, Jonah, Rusty, BKR-S7, Jacob, Lovable Christy, Mandy Lee Plays, Tornin Prince, Lily the Dog, Amanda, Gus, Alland, The Legend of Rage, Blargnar, The Enix Freak, Larulian Sheep, and Lunarium. Some of those people aren't Patreon supporters anymore, but I still have them here, so I wanted to give them a thank you just because they were at one point. Thank you all so much.
So nice.
Remember, you are all guaranteed to get a shout out, guaranteed to have your question answered at the end of the podcast on our Zelda Mailbag, guaranteed to have your Zelda or gaming theory discussed on our new theory series, which finally returned a few days ago. So please message us if you have a question about anything concerning Patreon, our podcast, or our videos. And remember, we're trying to get up to 50 reviews on iTunes. So if you head over to iTunes and look up the Hylian Gamescast or 𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐿, then you'll probably find a lot of podcasts that has 𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐿 in the title, because I was a guest on their podcast, like the Spawn Wave podcast. But don't click on those. Do click on those, but
You can click on that.
also click on
Just not now.
also click on the Hylian Gamescast and leave a review, because we also have a spot in our podcast to where we read off all of the reviews that people leave on iTunes. So that
Even
really
if
helps
it's
us
a
out a
bad
lot.
one, we'll still read it.
Yeah, we have not got a bad one yet.
We haven't, but if
no.
we'll still read it. If we...
All right, but starting us off, our first piece of news comes from Go Nintendo. They say Zelda Breath of the Wild's Kakariko Village and Korok Forest's locations were originally swapped. They have a low-key joke here from Raw Meat Cowboy, which is like the main guy that owns Go Nintendo. He says,
has a horrible username, by the way.
he says, so you're saying they were switched? Yeah. So the article says, Nintendo's internal interview about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has revealed another interesting tidbit. For a good portion of time during the game's development, the locations of Kakariko Village and Korok Forest, which for those who don't know, Korok Forest was originally Kokiri Forest, and we'll get into that after this first bit of information as well, were actually swapped. Check out what Nintendo had to say about the situation below. In a quote, the truth is, since the beginning of development, the middle of development, Kakariko Village was at where Korok Forest currently is, and Korok Forest was at where Kakariko Village currently is. In the final product, we swapped their positions. The terrain leader suggested to change positions of Kakariko Village, and since everyone agreed, the suggestion landed on the director's desk. As time was precious, we were all prepared for the director to refuse our suggestion. Surprisingly, he agreed with us and said, definitely, there are many good things that could come out of changing their positions, so if the terrain designers agree with it, let's do it. He ends it with, I think we all know what'll happen now. Some fan is going to mod the game to swap locations in order to experience what the game was like earlier in development, I wonder how much of a difference it would actually make. So, quick thing here.
Cool.
This goes back to similar interviews that they've had in the past where they talk about why the geography in different Zelda games are always looking different. Why Lake Hylia is in one area in one Zelda game, but it's in a completely different area in another Zelda game. Why Kakariko Village looks one way in one Zelda game, and in another it looks completely different. Like, especially if you look at Twilight Princess's Kakariko Village and Ocarina of Time's Kakariko Village, they look nothing alike. But then you could be like, that's because the old Kakariko Village is actually the hidden village, because that used to be the original Kakariko Village. And then you can be like, okay, if that was the original Kakariko Village, how come that Kakariko Village doesn't lead to Death Mountain and the new Kakariko Village does? The answer is, as Aonuma and the other developers at Nintendo has always said, there's no big secret lore, conspiracy, or theory or anything behind the way that Hyrule or the areas look. It's always because they just want it to be more fun. The reason Lake Hylia isn't in the same location in every Zelda game, the reason Kakariko Village changes every single time, is because it would be boring if you went back to the same Kakariko or the same Kokiri Forest or the same Lost Woods every single time. So they change it around to keep it unique, exciting, and fun. It's not some big lore thing. It has absolutely nothing to do with theories or anything. That's why I always hate when people bring up geography-based theories and they're like, well, this looks like this because blah, blah, blah. And like, I just want to click on the interview and copy and paste it into a message and send it to them, where the people who create the game just literally say like, oh no, we thought the game would be more fun if this was over here.
Like, there's still some comparisons you can make, but you definitely like cannot use it to back up any theories.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's just it's too much of a mess. Also, Jesse, we got a super chat.
Oh, sweet.
But it's from Chublima, so it doesn't matter.
It's $2 Canadian. Thank you, Chubes.
It's 2 Canadian. That's like 50 USD, 50 cents. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tubes. Miss you.
But
She
another.
just wanted to know what would happen. There you go.
So as I mentioned.
Also, feel better. She's sick.
Oh
guys,
yeah,
so.
feel better, Tubes. But as I mentioned earlier about the Korok Forest, for those who don't know, it was originally not Korok Forest, it was Kokiri Forest. Originally, there were no Koroks in the game. All the Koroks were going to be Kokiri. But, oh, and we also would have had a Kokiri champion as well. But what happened, instead of finding Koroks everywhere spread around the map, you would find Master Sword pedestals that looked like the same pedestal from the Master Sword pedestal thing from Skyward Sword. So
it's like they just ripped the model.
Yeah, literally, it was literally the exact same model, and their idea was it was going to be something similar to A Link to the Past when you go to the Lost Woods and you see the fake pedestals everywhere. It was going to be like that, but then they decided, well, why would there be hundreds of these pedestals just lying around Hyrule? Like, what would the in-game store, like, what reason would we have for doing that other than having a collectathon type of thing? So they ended up changing it to finding Koroks everywhere, which meant that they couldn't have Kokiri anymore. So instead of getting a Kokiri champion with the whip, they gave us the Koroks, and they replaced the Korok champion with the Rito champion. So instead of getting Kokiri, we got Koroks and Rito, because at that point the Rito weren't in the game, and I imagine this was also around the same time that instead of Korok Forest being there, it was Kokiri Forest. And this also makes sense as to why the Lost Woods is not the Lost Woods. I guess the Lost Woods. Korok Forest is next to Death Mountain, instead of Kakariko Village being next to Death Mountain, because those two always go hand in hand.
Yes. Fun thing too, if I'm allowed to mention it here, but when Jesse sent me this article with showing that Kokiri Forest or Korok Forest, sorry, and Kakariko Village were swapped. Like a light went off in my head, and I had to find the really poor quality image of the 2014 map of Breath of the Wild from the Game Awards demo that was shown. And so it's like it's like an off-screen recording of the Wii U game.
It was when Aonuma and Miyamoto were one-upping each other.
Yeah, exactly. And so that map, you can actually see that Korok Forest is not there in that map, or not in its spot that it is in the final game. It's like a flat terrain, basically, rather than forest being there, and the water doesn't go all the way around. And the area where Kakariko Village is found in the game looks like the greenery actually goes all the way around it. And I'll put a link for those in the live chat right now. Just drop a quick link there. But it's... Dang, that's cool. It's like a neat... so basically it's... Like, as far back as 2014, it was still switched. It was probably quite late in development, because almost the rest of the map is the same.
Yeah.
It must have been real late in development. So.
And before we started, I was actually talking about in the Iwata Asks for Twilight Princess. They had something very similar to where at the very last minute they switched around where the starting area was in the game, and they were originally even going to have you start the game as Wolf Link, but then they thought that someone might play the game and be like, this isn't Link, this is weird, I don't want to play this. So they gave you the tutorial of playing as Link, which like 30 minutes or an hour in, you get turned into Wolf Link, and then you go from there. But originally, like, the way they worded it was the starting area was going to be somewhere completely different, which I don't know if they meant the starting area as in Ordon Village would have been somewhere completely different, like they swapped it out with another place, or if the starting area as in the place that you start was not in Ordon Village, it was somewhere else, which if you started as a wolf, presumably you would have like already been locked up in the castle or something. I don't know, because that's when you turn into a wolf for the first time, right? When you're in the castle dungeons and stuff, Midden is there. Yeah. And then, what else is there? They changed around a lot of the geography to find a place to put in the hidden village, which would have been Old Kakariko in Twilight Princess, because originally that wasn't even in the game. There was going to be a different area there altogether. But then they completely took out that area and put in the hidden village because they thought that Western game was just so fun that they... It's a funny story to me, maybe not other people, but all of the developers, during their free time, they would gather around this one developer's desk and they would all just waste time playing that shooting game where like you're shooting all of the
right.
moblins or bokoblins, whatever they are. And they thought it was so fun that they put it inside the game. But then they were like, wait, what if someone skips it? Like, what if someone plays through the game and they don't come here? So they actually thought up a scenario and like added stuff to the story that wasn't originally there to force the players to play this minigame because they thought it was so fun, they didn't want anyone to not play it. So they thought it was so fun, they literally wanted to force every single player to play it. And that's
then
why
play it
it's...
again, but with chickens.
Yeah. Actually...
no, it's one of my favorite parts of the game. It's a really fun moment.
Twilight Princess was actually going to have a direct sequel, Twilight Princess 2, which we have videos on. But Twilight Princess 2... Yeah. Twilight Princess 2 was canceled. They literally canceled Twilight Princess 2 so they could make Link's crossbow training.
Which is the pinnacle of Zelda games.
Yeah.
It's the best game ever. It's obviously the best game ever.
If you go to the Link's crossbow training Iwata Asks, so like this isn't any like made up rumors or lies or anything. Like this is literally an interview between the two people who created the Zelda series or the Zelda games, Miyamoto and Aonuma, with the CEO of Nintendo at the time, Iwata. So it's like the three main important people that are giving this information, that they wanted to make a sequel to Twilight Princess, but they thought it would take too long to make. So they stopped, like they immediately cut development of Twilight Princess 2 so that part of the team could work on a Zelda game that they could release in just like a year or 6 months or something like that. So they ended up giving us Link's crossbow training because they didn't have to do a lot of work for it and they wanted to get something out really quickly. And then most of the team took all of the ideas and concepts that would have been in Twilight Princess 2 and just put it in Skyward Sword. So, yeah, basically Twilight Princess 2 was cancelled for Link's crossbow training. Sad news, Link's crossbow training almost doubled the sales of Wind Waker.
Oh.
So that's another thing.
Ooh.
As great...
I have that game. I have no shame. You know what? I like Link's crossbow training.
So this,
I love that game.
this is another
that game
thing.
is so good.
I got platinum on every level in that game.
Yes, but think about this. Like, in all of my videos, whenever I talk about how people used to hate Wind Waker, I get a bunch of comments from people. It's like, you're the only one that hates Wind Waker. Everyone loves Wind Waker. Blah, blah, blah. No one disliked its cartoon stuff. And I'm like, you probably weren't even born yet. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
You weren't there, man. No,
Like-
I remember the days. People were like, this isn't Zelda.
Yeah, like they would, like you can literally look up reviews, like I believe we did a few times for discussion videos on Metacritic or whatever, where you can actually read reviews that came out at the time. And it's just people, like all of the professional reviews from like IGN and all the other places are actual good reviews. But all of the fan reviews are just idiots being like, why does it look like a cartoon? Blah, blah, blah. This is stupid. This isn't Zelda. And then it's like...
But these are the same people. I distinctly remember getting mad at people in school because they'd be like, have you played Zelda 2? Majora's Mask? I'm like, that's not Zelda 2. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. And then they're the same people that would be like, oh my god, Wind Waker, that's not Zelda. It's like for babies. So, basically, uneducated, filthy swine. I tell you. Anyway, sorry. I just get passionate about these things. I'll just see myself out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I've been ranting for a bit. So,
No, I'm kidding. You can't get rid of me that easily.
So, Mr. Gluck, Mr. Tevi, do you guys want to give your thoughts on this whole switcheroo from Nintendo?
The old switcheroo.
The old switch swatch.
Luke, you can go first.
Okay, you said it, not me.
Anyway. I was gonna.
You said it, not me. Okay, so I think it's interesting. Like, it's kind of a weird switch, but like, I mean, I don't really have any thoughts about it. Like, you change the location, okay. Like, I mean, I think one of the reasons they could have done it is because since Korok Forest has the Master Sword in it, they wanted to have like the Master Sword farther away from the starting point of the game, so that it would kind of be harder to find in your exploration. But like, you can still find it, obviously. But like, from the starting point, when the king tells you to go to Kakariko Village and he tells you like how to get there, along the way going to Kakariko Village, and if it was in the original location, you would pass Korok Forest and be like, what's this? What is this? And you'd want to go in there, and then you'd find the Master Sword. And like, there goes that surprise. Like, at the very beginning of the game, you find it. It's like, oh, okay, and I can't even get the sword. Okay, cool. And then like,
There might be some motivation, but no, totally. Like, it's Kakariko Village is in a place where you can very easily and naturally come upon it early in the game. The Master Sword is not in such an easy to find location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that was a good change. So for that reason, I could see why it'd be a really good change. But other than that, I don't really see a reason to swap the things.
Really quick, I would like to say I think having a main city like Kakariko Village so close to Hyrule Castle would have deterred people from actually trying to visit it. Because the first thing that you do in the game is go to Kakariko Village. Like, that's one of the first things that it tells you. So like, if it says go to Kakariko Village and it's literally sitting right behind Hyrule
The most
Castle,
dangerous place in the whole game.
yeah, everyone's gonna be like, Like, do I go straight to it? Like, do I have to go through the castle to get there, or like, can I go right and go around it, or do I go left and go around it? Which would have given people a lot more diversity. And
Like this game's trying to set me up for death. Look at that. It's like you're walking down the road. You're trying to get to town. You just see like guardians like in the fields next to you.
Oh my god.
Oh
Flying
gosh.
guardians.
You'd be terrified.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust the king. I'd be like, this king's trying to kill me.
but instead,
You can be dead like the rest of us.
instead,
Disguise yourself as a creepy old man.
yeah, but instead you walk across a bridge and someone mistakes you for someone who's about to commit suicide.
It's just because I want to jump to the Boko camp that's like below.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird part to put in, like in the game, like
Yeah.
a subtle
it's a weird
hint
part.
to suicide in a Zelda game. Like that's not something I would expect, Mr. Miyamoto.
I like it though.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, so I think it is kind of interesting how they did swap the two locations, and I think ultimately in the final game, it does make a lot more sense because you think about Kakariko Village. You know, you have the Sheikah, and you know you have the Yiga clan trying to look for him, and Ganon's doing his porky stuff. So it makes sense that you have Kakariko Village kind of secluded somewhere in the mountains. You know, kind of in a place where you can get to it pretty easy, but it's also kind of hard to find. And then the Master Sword, you know, you have to keep that thing hidden or else people are going to get a hold of it, or if they can't get a hold of it, they're going to put things around it to where nobody else can get to it. So I think the swap makes sense, and I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, I also think that I keep trying to lean forward, like there's a microphone in front of me, but I forget that I have the lapel mic on. You have to get used to it. So you know in Kakariko Village where you go up to get to the shrine and the Great Fairy Fountain and everything, that path that leads up, I would think that would originally be the Death Mountain Trail from past games, because that's like the only area in Kakariko Village that kind of leads up and out. So I would imagine that would have been the direction to get to Death Mountain from Kakariko Village. But that's just my thoughts. And then where do you think the path that whenever you first go into Korok Forest, where do you think that path would be at in the original area? Like, which way do you think the forest would be angled, or like which way would it be centered? Because it wouldn't be like just copied and pasted. It would be like turned a bit or angled differently. So like, where do you think the enter path would be? Like, would it be at the area where like you would come across? This also makes sense if that was where the Korok Forest is, because the first place that you meet, what's his name? Hestu is like on that path to
right near there.
Kakariko Village. So like, if you met him on the path to Korok Forest, that would also make perfect sense. But would that be the path that you would take to Korok Forest? Or would it be like oriented in a different way?
I still think that would probably be the path in, because of the way the mountains are and the way that the Necluda region right below Kakariko Village is designed. That path very naturally leads into the forest, right? But yeah, it's interesting also from now I know Jess is gonna scoff at me, but the geography standpoint is that the map changed this. If it was how it initially was, with Kakariko being more up there, or more by Death Mountain there, with the Lost Woods down below, the map would line up more similarly to Ocarina of Time. But with the switch happening and the Lost Woods or Korok Forest up there, the map more lines up with A Link to the Past, which I just find is like kind of just that one switch changes sort of how you look at the map. So it's kind of still not unreasonable for me in my head for the Master Sword to be there, because it still does kind of line up with some past games. But I don't know. It's interesting from a lore standpoint, because as well, the Kakariko we see in Breath of the Wild is definitely not the same Kakariko in past games. It's just two different culturally, it's a Sheikah exclusive village again, rather than being a village that used to be a Sheikah exclusive village and then was opened to the public. Are we just taking selfies?
Yeah.
My phone's all the way over here.
I'll take a selfie. But
I'm doing the Holly. I'm doing the Holly Wolf thing where she takes pictures and posts when she's doing a podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, I like it. But yeah, anyways, it's just it makes sense to me that it's not, because it's definitely like very clearly not the same Kakariko. It makes sense in my head that it's not right beside Death Mountain anymore. They probably just reused the name because they were not that creative. But anyway, that's enough about me rambling. That's enough for me rambling. It's my selfie time.
It's so true though that I create.
There you go. There's my selfie.
We gotta talk Zelda, but first let me take a selfie.
Yes, precisely.
Oh my god.
Do it for the gram, guys.
Taking selfies is somewhere up here,
Yeah.
and the Hylian's Gamescast is just all the way down here.
Ooh,
Do
well,
it for
I
the
mean, no,
gram.
that's still a priority. So it's like, like
So it's like,
Hylian
No, like,
Gamescast
I
here,
know it's
and then,
almost
like, taking a
midnight.
selfie is like it's a way up.
I know it's almost midnight, so it kind of explains why there's not many people watching, but there's only like 50 people in the chat, so it's like try to get a few more.
that's like 10 times more than what
Okay.
I've been getting
So
from
we
my
need more
streams.
views. So what you're saying is just a little more. That's how you get
Yeah.
the views, right? Just a
No,
little-
so
Just a little
are we done with this? Okay, no.
I
So
think so. Do you have
if
anything further to add about the
yeah,
Switch?
just for fun, if you could take two areas in Breath of the Wild, where would you switch them? Like there was a lot of theories at first that, what was it, Korok Forest in the original Hyrule
Plateau.
Castle Town, the Great Plateau?
Yeah.
Plateau and
ori-
Korok Forest was originally switched.
Mhm.
But now we know all those theories are complete nonsense because Nintendo's like, no, it was switched with Kakariko Village.
Yeah, which is
So-
interesting. But actually, if those were switched, the map would still line up better with Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Interestingly. Because then you have the Lost Woods to the south, and then Castletown right up north, like more up north near Death Mountain. If you look at Ocarina of Time's map, like to actually get there, you have to go out to Hyrule Field and loop around. But to actually, like on the map, they're like really close together
hmm
in that game, at least. I don't know. I shouldn't be doing this. Stop looking at the maps, Daniel. They mean nothing.
Right.
Got it, Daniel.
What two
Come on.
areas would you switch though? Or what two areas do you think would make more sense if they were switched? Starting Tevi with you.
Tevi, tell us.
I would swap Gerudo Town with Hyrule Castle because I hate fun. Okay. Okay, serious answer this time. That's actually a really good
Can't stop
question.
Good, like Hyrule Castle just in the middle of the desert for no reason.
Honestly, I think it'd be kind of interesting to have Kakariko Village more towards like the top right of the map, kind of like below to the right of Death Mountain instead of like where it's at. So maybe like replace, like, is it the Tabantha region? That's where it's like right next to Death Mountain. It's that region.
The Akala region?
The Akala region. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would kind of like to see some area in the Akala region get swapped with Kakariko Village, just to kind of see like what kind of interesting layouts you could make with that. I think it'd be kind of fun too. Just explore a little bit more, and then hey, here's Kakariko Village.
I would love it if they put the like ruins of old, like have an old Kakariko. Ruins,
Yeah.
Like
Well, because
abandoned
they have
town or something.
they have the Lon Lon Ranch ruins,
Yeah,
so
which have held up pretty good for 10,000 years.
yeah, for over 10,000 years, they're still doing pretty good.
It's pretty good, actually.
We've had to rebuild this thing 10 times.
Like we're done. You know what? Just
Just
At
leave
what
it alone.
point just move and call it a day. But yeah. Interesting. Well, yeah. That's a good suggestion. Luke,
Yeah.
do you got a place you want to swap in? A schwip schwap?
Yeah, I got two ideas. Like, so I was thinking for the first one, you could swap a town near Death Mountain with Rito Village, because to my understanding, in Wind Waker, isn't Dragon Roost Island like Death Mountain, but like as an island?
I believe so, right?
Yeah, because
that's
the water
always been
rose
my
so high
understanding.
that it just looks like a little bit sticking out.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
here's the fun thing is that I can't remember which one of the Zelda books says
Zelda
it's not.
Encyclopedia.
Is it Encyclopedia that
I
says
believe
that
so.
Fire Mountain is Death Mountain, not Dragon Roost Island? And I'm like,
No, it
"Wow,
make
a big volcano.
it make more sense for Dragon Roost to be.
It does. It
No.
totally does. Like
It's
even
such a-
doing the forbidden map comparison, although actually Wind Waker's map lines up real nice with Ocarina of Time's, but even doing that and then also like the big volcano, it's the biggest one.
Yeah,
Well,
Dragon,
yeah,
Roost,
always.
Dragon Roost Island's the tallest volcano in the game. I don't know. I haven't beat Wind Waker all the way through. I am ashamed.
Bro, what?
Leave.
I'm sorry.
You're muted for the rest of the podcast.
give me like 6 months. I'll get to it.
Okay. Then you'll be
Okay.
allowed back on.
Well,
But
that
no,
was my first.
Yay.
But yes,
Yeah.
you are correct that is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
discount the book on that segment only. but-
Okay, the book is messed up in that term.
It is.
But okay.
But actually, it is Dragon Roost. Forget the book. It's Dragon Roost.
Forget the book.
I said it, so it's this.
It's got the Bergerson stamp of approval.
And then just for fun, I thought it would be funny to swap Terrytown with Hyrule Castle, so that just for the sole purpose it would look like the Wind Waker Hyrule Castle. It would be a little island surrounded by water.
You know, I never made that parallel. That's actually kind of interesting.
That's a good point.
That'd be great. So
It'd also just be kind of funny to have this random tiny town in the center of Hyrule. I think that'd be
Yeah.
hilarious.
it'd be
Like
great.
Ruined Castle Town, right front and center, Guardians everywhere,
Terrytown.
and then just Terrytown.
It's
Just nice, peaceful Terrytown. You know, no one's bothering us. You take 2 steps outside, you're gonna get your foot shot off.
Oh yeah.
I would
In
take.
town is fine.
I would put Gerudo Desert where it is in Ocarina of Time. So like take it from the lower left and put it to like the mid left to upper left. And then I guess that would put the icy mountain in the bottom left, which is where it
So move
is
Zebra?
in Twilight Princess. I think.
Snow Peak is not at the bottom left.
No.
Snow Peak's very north.
Yeah.
It's the northeast north.
No,
what
it's-
you gotta do with the Ocarina of Time's map, though, is you gotta just rotate it like 45 degrees. That's all you gotta do, and then it just lines up real
Maps
nice
are
with everything
weird.
else. We shouldn't be doing the map thing. We just already talked about this.
we spent
did-
I don't know how
did
much
everyone
time
already
talking
give
about
their-
we can't do the map thing.
No,
We're discussing the maps again.
Has everyone already
The
given
map.
their switcheroos?
The switcheroos?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Well,
Yes.
I haven't. But
Okay,
have you,
give
Jesse?
yours. Yeah,
Okay.
I want Gerudo Village to be like top left,
Just top left.
with the waterfall still going down.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that'd be
That would,
interesting.
that would be nice. That would be nice.
Nice and
So
pretty.
actually, what I would really like is the Farron. Maybe I don't know if it's not counts as a switcheroo, but
Wait, would this? Okay, interrupting Daniel. Does this mean the Farron Wood region would connect to the Korok Forest?
no.
If it was in
where
its old
would be-
area?
Farron Woods is south of Necluda, and then Kakariko is just north of Necluda.
Yeah, they still wouldn't
So
be
they still
connected.
wouldn't quite connect because Dueling Peaks and then the whole Blatchberry Plains and Ash Swamp, like all that stuff is in
Yeah, and it's all still disconnected with those areas and Lake Hylia.
But
Right.
what I would like for my Switch is actually to take the Korok Forest and move it south to connect with the Farron Woods and just take I don't know, whatever's down there. Like there's that little plain with the stable in it. Just take that and just put it wherever. to
Just
get
take
it
that
out of
and
the way.
toss it in the ocean.
Just toss it.
Put it inside the castle.
Korok Forest there because so that The Master Sword is there, and then Korok Forest is connected to. You go all the way deep into Farron Woods to get to the Korok Forest, which is like the really Lost Woods part. And I think,
Yeah.
for me, that would just make more sense.
I think that'd
You
be
know
cool.
what's funny?
I think that'd be cool.
Is the E3 trailer when it shows like the Master Sword shot in that first trailer, it pans over Farron Woods first as if like, hey, this is the forest, and then it's in Korok Forest, which is not even connected or anywhere near Farron. They just trickery. Editing
Nintendo,
magic.
you played us like a fiddle.
No, you got me this time. But yes, so that would be my switch. My switcheroo. Good. So many. We did it.
In my head now, I'm trying to come up with a theory of how that could actually work for the Hyrule Castle being on Terrytown. Because
And
now
it
I'm
would
like,
still be
oh,
better
shit.
than a certain other game theory that I've seen.
Yeah. Daniel, do you want to take the Link's Awakening review?
Let's do it. Sure. Gosh. Let me pull this up here. Okay, guys. Our next piece of news is not really news. It's a review. Famitsu, actually, our news comes from GoNintendo.com, who is reporting on Famitsu writing a review for The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for Nintendo Switch. So it's not out yet. It's not out for another 9 days, but Famitsu published its review of the game, which was a 35 out of 40. And Famitsu does not give out perfect scores very often, so just being in that range is good. Famitsu has done 10 perfect scores ever, I think, something like that. It's very minuscule. Excuse me, pardon me. Well, what the thing says first. Oh, there's several reviewers too. First reviewer says the diorama-styled graphics and comical movements match well with the world settings unique to this game, which also has appearances of many guests from other titles, like the Chain Chomp and all that. There are a few explanations and hints if you have grown familiar with very polite games of recent times. I wonder if that's a weird translation thing. This game is polite.
Maybe they mean polite, easy. I don't know.
Yeah, there is an asterisk, polite, beginner friendly. Okay. Of recent times, some of the puzzles may be difficult to understand. However, the fun of getting through things, such as defeating strong enemies or using items in your possession to solve puzzles in a Zelda game. After all, in the panel dungeon, you can not only pick up on themes, but also freely create your own, which is good. The panel dungeon is the
chamber dungeon, right?
Yeah, but in Japan. Second reviewer says, while remaking the original work, well, again, politely, while remaking the original work politely, they are also matching the current era as it becomes easier to play and leaves a good impression. The cute graphics that feel like figurines are also nice. The characteristics not in other Zelda series, such as the story that has a unique taste and the appearance of characters from Nintendo's other. No, this is a very similar review. They wrote very similar reviews. Just copy my home. Can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change some things around so no one will notice. The characteristics not in other Zelda series, such as the story that has unique taste and the appearance of characters from Nintendo's other titles, are appeals that do not fade even now. The new feature panel dungeon, which is the chamber dungeon, gives rewards when you clear them, and creating dungeons in accordance with the theme is also fun. Third reviewer said, do I have to read all of these? I'm not going to read all of these. Anyways, you get the gist, guys. It's good game, because that's what I'm saying. It's a good video game. Is good.
I don't.
Super chat.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't want to interrupt, but we have a super chat.
Oh, it's from RPG.
Yes.
$5.12 Canadian.
My man, RPG.
Yeah. So the way that I wanted to do this, going around for everyone, so since there's 4 of us, what is one thing from this remake that you're looking forward to the most? And what is one thing that you wish or hope is going to be featured in the game that we don't know about yet? Like how they added in the chamber dungeons, or the create a dungeon thing that nobody knew was going to be in there, and then one day they were just like, yeah, you can make your own dungeons.
Go, Zelda Maker.
So we did Tevi last time, starting with you, Gluck. One thing that you're looking forward to the most that we know is in the game, and then one thing that you wish or hope will be in the game.
Take us away, Luke. He's a
My
Luke,
no,
take
my
us
sorry, my internet keeps cutting, so I
Take
got
us away.
No, I said we're each going to give one thing that we're looking forward to the most in Link's Awakening, and then one thing that we hope or wish will be in the game, like multiplayer or something.
Okay. Well, I am excited to experience it. I've never played the game before, so it's an entirely new experience for me. So I'm excited to play. It's essentially a new game for me, so it'll be pretty good. One thing I'm not excited about for it. Is that what you asked?
No, one thing that we know is going to be in the game that you are the most excited about, and then one thing that you hope or wish will be in the game.
Oh, well, I hope that I mean, my favorite item in Zelda is the hookshot, so I hope that's in the game. But
Oh, I
as
don't
far-
want to give you spoilers.
but
No
so,
spoilers.
So as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm just excited to play it because I've never played it before. I don't know anything about Link's Awakening, like
Okay.
literally nothing.
So it's going to be an actual brand new game for you. Sweet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, Daniel, would you like to go?
Sure. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to as fun as chamber dungeons, all that stuff is. I'm most looking forward to the fact that they have improved the controls so that you permanently have your shield and sword equipped at all times, and you don't have to equip them, to use them, and then take them out, unequip them to use items instead. Because that was the biggest thing for the original game for me. It was like the biggest setback. I was like, oh my god, never used it because of weird controller restriction, and it's not the game's fault. It was the Game Boy's fault because of the lack of buttons on the Game Boy. There just wasn't enough buttons. But then going from A Link to the Past to that game, it's just like, oh, it's hard to adjust to that. So I'm that is the thing I'm the most looking forward to. That is confirmed, and I know it's happening. What was the other thing? Something I'm not looking forward to?
No,
Or
something
No,
that you
something
are
you
wishing.
hope is in
Yeah.
the game.
Hope is in? Okay, so that's something I know is there. Something I hope would be in the game. Chamber dungeon aside, I'd like another new dungeon. So in the Link's Awakening DX, they added an additional dungeon
Color
already,
dungeon.
the color dungeon, which I'm pretty sure will be in this version. But I think it would
It
be fun
is.
if they add another dungeon as well. So then you'd have the original game plus the color dungeon plus chamber dungeon and then some brand new dungeon or something. I think that would just be cool. Just a little extra spice there for something to keep people who are really familiar with the original kind of interested, or something new for those people. And also more dungeons is good as well. Just more dungeons is good. So
All right.
that's me.
Tevi?
So, I'm in the same boat as Luke. I've never played Link's Awakening, and I am very excited for this game to come out because I want to experience this. I think not only the original art style, but this art style is so appealing, it's so cute, and I just want to go and I want to experience this world for the first time. I want to explore. This will be the first 2D Zelda game that I've played since Link Between Worlds. So I'm very excited for this game to come out, which my next point that I wanted to bring up also relates to Link Between Worlds. You know how in that game you could buy the items whenever you wanted, and you could pretty much go in any order for the dungeons that you want.
Yes.
I would like to I know it's never going to happen, but I would like them to have a alternate mode where you could play through Link's Awakening, but you can buy your items whenever you want, and then you can complete the dungeons in any order.
Oh, even like if it's like as a new game plus sort of thing. Or...
Yeah, exactly like a new game plus. I think that would be really fun because I think that really added a lot to Link Between Worlds replayability, because you could buy certain items at this point and you could buy certain items at this point. It's like, okay, I don't want to tackle Dungeon 5. I want to tackle Dungeon 3 because I already have the hook shot. Or I'm going to buy the Sand Rod to do this dungeon first so that I can get this item. Or, you know what I mean. So I would like to see how they could take that to Link's Awakening and kind of, see what the players can kind of experiment with. So I think that'd be a really cool game mode that I probably think it's not going to happen. But if it does happen, I will be very happy.
It's heavy. I think you and I are the only people, the only Zelda fans that liked the mechanic of being able to buy.
I loved it. I loved it.
I liked it too, but so many people just don't like it for some reason.
There were still stuff that you could find in the dungeons. People just need to look harder.
This is true. And
Yeah.
but although what I did, like, here's the thing though, is that what I would just do instead of buying whatever item I need or whatever I felt like doing, I just bought all of them.
That's what I did.
But I love that. I was just because A Link to the Past is such a huge part of my childhood. I'm already super familiar with all these items. No, the Sand Rod aside, I think there were no like new items.
There was the green wind turbine
tornado.
Yeah, the tornado rod.
Yeah. Okay, so those two items plus the wall merging mechanic, those are like the only things. You can't even buy the tornado you can the tornado rod. You can't buy the Sand Rod right away anyways. So
you have to beat one of the dungeons, I think.
Mm-hmm. That one's like already locked behind progress, but then like I don't know, just like for me I was just like because they're already so familiar, just like buy all of them, I'll use it's good. It did not feel like a huge change really for me, but yeah. It's that's all I gotta say about that. Sorry. I just like totally just jumped in there, but I'm just happy to hear that someone doesn't hate that mechanic.
I don't hate it either. I think it's a really good mechanic for Link Between Worlds. I think it had a really good mix of freedom of choice and still being like a true Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay! So Jesse, what's next?
Yeah, I would go with the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is just the fact that it has all of the controls are like standardized, I guess is the best way to say it. They have like before you'd have to have sword as a button, shield as a button, arrow as a button, or whatever. But now it's like the shield is just automatically held, so that doesn't take up any buttons. Sword is going to be permanently on a button, and then the rest of the buttons are going to be treated as like traditional item buttons. And then so it's going to be playing like a normal, typical Zelda game, not one that's like, even though like I just don't understand the thought process that went into the original Link's Awakening. Like, the original Zelda games had 2 buttons, like Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 had 2 buttons, but it's like you still, like, he automatically held his shield. Why, if you only have 2 buttons, why would you restrict yourself even more to be like, you can have a shield or this other item? Why not just make it automatic? Like, I just don't understand.
Like it already was. That's the thing that's so weird. Is like Zelda 1, 2, and A Link to the Past. So all 3 Zelda games prior to that, Link already just had the shield automatically equipped.
It would be like playing A Link to the Past, but instead of just getting the one item button, it's like you have to have the item button or a shield or a sword. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm looking forward to like the more standardized controls. And the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, that I'm hoping for, is either some sort of multiplayer or DLC of some kind. Like Phantom Hourglass, I think Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks as well. One of the 2 games, like, it's a normal, typical one-player Zelda game, but they had some form of multiplayer in them.
Yes, both of them had it.
Yeah.
Where you had to just like go and collect force gems faster than the other person. I specifically remember there was a class I took in high school, and I had the game. I think it was my last year of high school. I had Spirit Track. A friend of mine, instead of doing work, we would just play two-player on that all the time. It was pretty terrible, actually. But DS download play is great, and Nintendo should bring that idea back.
They did with
games, so.
I think 3DS, Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and then Mario Kart had that. So if they did that with Switch games, that would be really cool.
I think Mario Kart had it. I think Dark Moon had it. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I think the Luigi's Mansion remake that they had on 3DS, I think that also had it. I'm not entirely sure though.
I'm not sure, but I mean, like, Switch games should. It would be great for Switch games to have it. Like,
yeah,
for just not every Switch game needs to have it, but games like Smash and Mario Kart, if you could just go and download play, because those are designed to be multiplayer games, and if you've got, especially with the Switch Lite coming, that just feels like, you know, you won't always be able to just, I don't know, it would feel really right for that kind of thing. So
yeah,
but I digress. That's a feature on the hardware and not the feature of Link's Awakening. So
all right, so we can go to the mailbag now. I don't think we have any reviews to name off because we haven't had a podcast in a while, so we can just go to mailbag. We'll each do one question each. So everyone, if you're watching live, this is your chance to have your question answered. So if you have one, queue it up. If you have someone specific that you would like to answer it, like Luke, or Tevi, or Daniel, or me, if you put our name on there, it might grab our attention. So there's that. So I guess, do you want to do the intro for the mailbag, Daniel? And this is the last segment, by the way, because we were meant to have a short podcast, but we're going to be trying to come back Sunday for a full podcast with everything.
Yes.
But this one was supposed to start at 10, and then it didn't start till like 11 because I was having mic issues. Because instead of using the Blue Yeti, I'm trying out my my nipple mics. Yeah.
Yes.
So do you want to do the mailbag intro, Daniel?
Sure. We'll do all the shoutouts and everything too. And okay, cool. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Zelda mailbag. So, what did you say? 93. Holy cow. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel. You may know me as Cap Bergerson, and I'm joined today. There's a Game Over Jesse. Say hi.
Hello.
Oh, and Hylian Luke is here as well. So say hello.
Hello.
And Tevi is also here. Don't say hi. No, you say hello.
Aloha.
Hello. Oh, I gave you one direction.
And I went the other way.
I gave you one thing to say. Anyways, guys, this is the Zelda mailbag, where we answer your Zelda-related questions, and also other questions. It doesn't have to be Zelda questions, but usually it's Zelda questions, which is why it's the Zelda mailbag. But it's okay if it's not Zelda questions. But you can submit your questions to us through many forms of things, such as Twitter or Facebook on the Hylian Gamescast Facebook page. Probably the best way is through the Game Over Jesse and Friends Discord server. We do have a whole channel on that server dedicated to the Zelda mailbag, but we do sometimes get a lot of questions and we cannot always answer all of them. So if you want to make sure to guarantee your question gets answered, you can sign up to Mr. Game Over Jesse's patreon.com/GameOverJesse. You can join the likes of these fine folks like Shiko, Witch, Manboy Cave, David, Monica, Bath, Bootleg Boy SP, Ranjamin, Derek, Shout Out to Us, Jonah, Rusty, BKR7, Jacob, Lovable Christie, Mandy Lee Plays, Tornin Prince, Lily, the dog. Good dog. Amanda, Gus, Alan, Legend of Rage, Blargnar, the Enix Freak, Larulian Sheep, and Lunarium. Thank you guys for your support. That really helps the podcast out. And why don't we? Do we have our first question queued up? Justin?
Actually, a really quick question. That's not a question, but I'm gonna go ahead and answer it because it pertains to everything. Jorge says, why did you torture us by not hosting a Gamescast all these past week? We just got a super chat I'll get to in just a second. Why did you torture us by not hosting a Gamescast all these past weeks, Jesse? That's my question. Where's my week starting content? I apologize for that. The way that it typically works is I will have my daughter for half of the week, and then her mother and her grandmother will get her for the other half. And I'll basically do nothing except spend time with my daughter when she's here for half the week. And then when she's gone, I'll try to cram in as much stuff as I can. That's usually when the podcast happens and I write scripts and everything. But I had her for basically an entire month, and whenever I go to type on the laptop or do anything, she wants to do everything with me. So we tried having a podcast with a Patreon supporter and with 𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐻, and that did not go very well because Layla came in here and wanted to join, but she didn't want to join with me. She just wanted to play around on the computer and press all the LED buttons and stuff. So we weren't able to do that. So we just delayed it until we were able to. And we were going to have one last night, but then some stuff came up. We weren't able to, and now we're finally having it. And we have a Patreon supporter, Candy Sweets, who asks a question. But we also have the Manboy Cave, who asks a question. Daniel, would you like to take the question from Manboy Cave?
Yes.
And then we have, after him, Candy, who's a Patreon supporter, asked a question. So those will be the first two.
All right, well, I'll start with the Manboy Cave. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. Manboy Cave asked, which Zelda character do you want to see get their own amiibo? And welcome back, guys.
Skull Kid.
Ooh, Skull Kid amiibo. I think they
or
were
Beetle.
planning on having a Skull Kid amiibo, and then they just released it as that figurine instead.
Yeah, because Aonuma said that he had no idea. They didn't want to just put one amiibo in Majora's Mask and have one amiibo do something and none of the others do anything. And they had a similar problem with Wind Waker, but by the time they got around to Twilight Princess, they had figured out how to implement amiibo functionality into Zelda games. But with Wind Waker and specifically Majora's Mask 3D, they wanted to implement amiibo functionality. They even created a Skull Kid amiibo. Like, there are Skull Kid amiibos that, like, if you are really high up at Nintendo, you probably have one. They just didn't make them as amiibos. Instead, they just made them as standalone statues. So the statue that would come with Majora's Mask 3D, that was originally meant to be an amiibo, but they had no idea what functionality to give it in the game, so they didn't release it as an amiibo. But Aonuma loved the design so much that they just did the thing. And they did something similar with the big old Ganondorf amiibo thing with Wind Waker HD.
Big old Ganondorf.
Yeah, because he's the big
Love
Ganondorf. He's my favorite Ganondorf.
Third best Ganondorf
Yeah,
for me,
but
personally.
what about you guys?
He's a
What
thick Ganondorf.
what character would you guys like? Mine is Beetle or Skull Kid.
I thought you wanted a Loftwing amiibo.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Only if it summons Loftwings in Breath of the Wild or Breath of the Wild 2. Then I would
Bro,
like
that'd
a
be
Loftwing
so
amiibo.
cool.
That'd be nuts.
No,
That would be
because
my
everyone
nuts.
says
God,
it.
that'd be
Everyone
so
says it would
cool.
ruin the game. It would ruin the exploration. All those.
No, it
Post
wouldn't.
game.
I know.
Just make it post game.
Because the people that say that,
Are you kidding me?
no, the people that say that, like, I get a bunch of comments from people whenever I mention a Loftwing in Breath of the Wild, and they're like, that would completely ruin the exploration. That would take all the fun out of it. And I'm like, you can literally warp anywhere you want in the game. You get a motorcycle. You can drive anywhere in the game. If those don't ruin exploration, a Loftwing won't. Because with the Loftwing, they can have it set to where, like, it's an end of the game prize, like the motorcycle, or like Epona in Ocarina of Time. She wouldn't, like, try to cross the bridge or whatever because it was scary, or whatever, to go into Hyrule Castle, or at least that's the reason that they would give. I think it was.
That'd be so cool because you could, like, fly around in the sky. You could see, like, all the beautiful sky view
Yeah.
of the fields and stuff. Oh my
But
gosh,
then
that'd be
I would
so
also get
cool.
people. I also get people that comment, "We get that. Didn't you play the Divine Beast where you're flying on the Rito bird dude.
Oh, Tebow?
Tebow,
whatever
yeah.
his name is.
Yeah.
And I'm
Tim
like,
Tebow.
The same thing.
yeah, and I'm like, that's like on rails. Like you can't choose where you go. That's like playing Star Fox or Pokemon
Yeah,
Snap.
you can't
Like it's on rails.
land anywhere.
Yeah.
If you try and land, you'll just like die basically and have
Yeah.
to restart.
So it's like these people that don't have common sense are just like, it'll ruin the game or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you get a motorcycle. If a motorcycle doesn't ruin the game, a Loftwing won't.
Yeah, plus all you need to do is drive a motorcycle off a cliff and jump and then pull out your paraglider.
And
already.
Yeah.
Flying already.
But with you guys, what's your amiibo?
Oh, see, I'm torn between two of them. I would love to have either because I know we have like the Young Link amiibo for both Smash Brothers and for the Zelda Young Link amiibo. But I would really thank you, Daniel, for showcasing all of your amiibo that I really wish that I had right now. But
Yes.
I am torn between having an actual Fierce Deity amiibo, with the sword, in the whole. That's a lot of amiibo.
All right, I will be back in just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, I'll miss you.
Continue without me, my children.
But I would love to have either a Ganondorf amiibo, specifically an Ocarina of Time Ganondorf amiibo, or a Fierce Deity amiibo. I think both of those would be very, very cool. Especially because the only Ganondorf amiibo that we have is the Twilight Princess version of Ganondorf from Smash Wii U, and I'm sorry, but old man Ganondorf, it just does not fit for me in Smash Brothers. Just give me Ultimate Ganondorf, and I am set. So
There you go. There you go. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I don't think there's any Ganondorf amiibos for like the Zelda series of amiibos.
No.
yeah, it's
Like-
literally just Smash Brothers.
Yeah, there's just a Smash Brothers Ganondorf amiibo. So I think it'd be really cool to have one for the Zelda series. But if we're talking not Ganondorf, if we're gonna count the Smash Bros one, then I would say I'd love to see a Vaati amiibo.
Ooh, that'd actually be kind of cool. I'd like that.
That'd be really cool. I think he's such a great villain. I think, and he's not used enough. I would love to see a 3D Zelda game with Vaati in it.
Okay,
Very
so
cool.
I got a quick divergence. I got a quick question about Vaati. Was it ever confirmed that Vaati is part of the Demise's hatred reincarnation thingy, or was that just a Ganondorf thing?
That's just a Ganondorf thing, I think.
Because
Okay.
Vaati was just a little minish that just wanted more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there were some Zelda games it kind of didn't make sense as to why Link and Zelda came back, but not Ganon or Ganondorf. Because you had Minish Cap. Vaati was the main villain, and Demise would say a reincarnation of my hatred of Mouse would forever follow your kind. So if Vaati's not Demise, then what is?
I mean,
I've always just been kind of confused on that.
Yeah, I mean, my point is it's not confirmed, but
Ah, okay.
you could make the point. You could make the argument for sure. Yeah, with a lot of them, like you could even say,
I mean-
Vaati, maybe Bellum and Maladus and all these other villains are.
Well, I mean,
just
I can see Vaati being partially like filled with some of Demise's hatred, but he's not a part of the Demise reincarnation. Because a part of that quote that you kind of left out is like he says, "I'll reincarnate those like you, with the blood of the hero or the spirit of the hero and the blood of the goddess or something like that." So that that doesn't really tie in with the Minish.
I don't know the whole quote myself because guess what? Never finished Skyward Sword. I don't have it, so
Oh,
I am a fake Zelda fan. I'm sorry, guys.
no, you're good. A lot of people hate that game.
I really want to get it for my Wii U before the eShop goes down, but I need $20.
someone get this man $20.
Give me $20. I'm kidding. Don't
Grant
give me
me
money.
thigh $20, and I shall buy this thigh game.
Oof.
Get me this game so I can have a mannequin robot spirit thing tell me my batteries are low, even though I just changed them.
I just changed them. It's so funny. Like in Skyward Sword with the battery notification, there's like 3 things that tell you your batteries are low.
Oh, it's too much.
Like
Wind Waker
3.
HD had it perfect. Just a little icon that comes.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. That's all you need. But anyways, as far as Amiibo, Zelda characters that need an Amiibo, so many. So many. there's so... I don't even know where to start because they have like 200 ideas, basically.
Yeah, Daniel.
We're just gonna like lightning round. Just like, I'm just the Amiibo king here.
Yeah, I mean, look at his back wall. Like, decisions, my boys.
So, we've got all these classic Link Amiibos. We have no 16-bit A Link to the Past Link Amiibo. We go right from Zelda 1 Link to Ocarina of Time, and we skip over A Link to the Past Link, who is featured in 4 Zelda games and doesn't get his own Amiibo.
Is it 4? I thought they changed the timeline a little bit. I don't know. I haven't looked at the timeline in I don't know how many years. So
if they move the Oracle games, and there's nothing to say that that's not still the same Link, because when moving either way, it's still those 4 games in a row. It's just that they just tweaked which side Link's Awakening is on. Thankfully, though, the Link's Awakening Amiibo is coming out, so that kind of does like quench my thirst on that side a bit. Already mentioned Loftwing Amiibo, another Zelda Amiibo, because we have Toon Zelda and Twilight Princess Zelda and Breath of the Wild Zelda, and that's it. And there's so many other Zeldas.
You know, now that they have the... Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Now that they have the Link Between Worlds / Link to the Past Zelda and Smash Brothers, I would really like to see an Amiibo of that design. I think that'd be sick. And you know, they might as well. They already did it for Young Link. They might as well do it for the rest of the Smash Zelda characters that got redesigns.
Oh, here's the thing too: is like Cloud and Bayonetta get alt Amiibos.
Yeah, they get like Player 2 Amiibos.
Link doesn't. I'm just saying. We have a new Smash Link and Ganondorf Amiibo. Please, thanks.
Oh, give us the Beast Ganondorf Amiibo too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Beast Ganondorf. Yeah.
I mean, now that they kind of confirmed that they're going to be working on Smash Brothers DLC for a while, they're going to keep on pumping out Amiibos. That's just how it is for Smash Brothers. So if they're pumping out all these DLC Amiibos, I think, well, let's go back and let's take these characters who got redesigns, like Ike, Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, all these characters that got redesigns in Smash Ultimate. Let's give them Amiibo while we're doing these new DLC Amiibo.
Because we'd buy it again.
Yeah, like I'm gonna buy like 5 Joker Amiibos when they come out. So
there we go. Impa, I would get an Impa one. I really like the Hyrule Warriors design for Impa.
Me too.
We have a Toon Zelda. Where's Tetra? There's another Amiibo you could have. There's so many. I could just keep going. There's so many. Right. I want all of them.
Has everyone already answered?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question comes from Patreon supporter Candy Sweets, who asked, "For all of you, what is your favorite Zelda game, and why? And what is your least favorite Zelda game, and why?"
You gotta make me choose.
Phantom Hourglass, because of no traditional controls. I don't know if I dreamed this, or if I'm from some alternative universe where this actually happened, and then I swapped over to this one because I can't find anything about it online when I go and look. But when I was playing Phantom Hourglass, you have to keep going back to that same dungeon over and over again.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn I bombed a wall or I did something and there was a sign that you could read on the wall or something on one of them. And I remember reading it, and it's like it broke the fourth wall and said something about like, I wish we would have used traditional controls or something like that on this game. Or like this would be a lot better with traditional controls or some weird thing like
this
that.
This actually does sound familiar, but I don't think it... Yeah, but I don't remember exactly what it is. But this sounds... It's been a few years since I played Hourglass.
It was a
Because every
sign.
time I start playing that game, I feel like I'd rather play Spirit Tracks instead.
It was a sign in the game, in the Temple of the Ocean King, that broke the fourth wall, mentioning traditional controls. And I remember it, but I cannot find it online. Matt Fry says Tetra equals Zelda. We have a video on Daniel's series that talks about that with a bunch of proof, and then it has a bunch of comments from people with no common sense saying that Tetra is different than Zelda, but then we have the games and the people that made the games and the characters inside the game calling Tetra Zelda. There's a scene where Tetra calls herself Princess Zelda as she is dressed as Princess Zelda, and then her father or grandfather or great-grandfather, whatever, the king, calls her Princess Zelda. The boat, who's kind of the same dude, calls her Princess Zelda. The evil man who wants to kill her, Ganondorf, calls her Princess Zelda. So
I literally just view Tetra as the Wind Waker Sheik.
Yeah,
just it's like saying
Kind of, yeah.
Mind is not King of Hyrule. It's just the alter ego. Sheik is Zelda, Tetra is Zelda. So when I said we have a Toon Zelda but not a Tetra, technically we do because Tetra is Zelda. But what I was just saying is like I would like a amiibo that has Tetra as Tetra, like in her pirate clothes, that kind of thing. That to clarify my comment earlier. I know Tetra is Zelda. Don't worry, guys, in the comments here. Don't roast me. But
no, go watch the video that Daniel and I did called Gaming Myths and Misconceptions on Zelda.
Myths and Misconceptions.
Yeah. See,
Yes.
you commented that after I posted the video, and it made me think that I misspelled in the title. So I went to double check, and I'm like, what's going on? And it broke my brain. But anyways.
It's because, okay, when we were recording it, I had a bunch of I'm surprised you didn't get it because editing video. I had a bunch of outtakes where I messed up saying myths and misconceptions because I kept jumbling it. But yes, the question was about was it favorite and least favorite Zelda game?
Yeah, least favorite for me was Phantom Hourglass. Favorite at the moment. The way I view this is if I had someone here playing it with me, I would say Majora's Mask. Because imagine playing it with someone. Imagine playing Majora's Mask with someone who hasn't played Majora's Mask yet, or at least not all of it. And especially the 3D version where they change around some of the side quests and where certain things are. So, we all have a $10.90 in rupees. I don't know what the R is. An unpopular opinion you have about the series. So we'll answer that one next.
We also already have one of Gus Lass's questions in the
nice.
Google Doc. I put a bunch of questions in the Google Doc that we hadn't updated yet as well, by the way. So,
but I would say Majora's Mask because, like, at the moment, I have a bunch of the quests memorized because my little brother calls me all the time and asks for like hints and tips and stuff in Majora's Mask, and he recently played through and beat it, so I still have all of it kind of memorized. But I think it would be really fun playing it with another Zelda fan who hasn't gone through and done all of that stuff, and like you and that person figuring out like where you need to be at what time, exactly what you need to do, and like the trial and error of getting all of the side quests right and doing it all on time. So that would be my favorite at this moment. But from the rest of you, favorite and least favorite, and why?
Who first, Jesse?
I did go first.
He just went.
Yeah.
Which one of us?
Tevi, because he's the most beautifulest.
Oh, thank you.
I agree.
I mean, yes.
Guys.
Also, what headphones are you using?
What?
What headphones are you using?
Logitech.
Cool. I was going to buy a headset, but then I emailed the company and they sent me a headset. So that stopped me from buying one. But I was wanting to buy one because I got tired of having the microphone and the headphones and everything. So then I got the idea of, instead of buying a headset that's really expensive to get a crappy mic, I kept the headphones that I have and bought a lapel mic so that I could just like clip it onto the wire. And then you have a really good but really cheap microphone at the same time that like you have the headphone that you already have. So that was my idea for it, and I think it works kind of well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I watched like 100 reviews for headsets, and I couldn't find the one that I wanted because I have a huge head. So, but anyways, continue. I just like to know the headphones everyone uses.
Okay. So, I'm going to start with my favorite one, just because that's kind of the easiest for me to kind of pick. My favorite...
Can I guess?
Yeah, please guess.
Okay. The Legend of Zelda, the animated series, the game.
I was gonna say.
Wait,
yeah.
Does that actually?
Jungle Beat.
My favorite Zelda game is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
We're kidding.
Oh my.
That doesn't count. It's not a Zelda game. It's Link's Crossbow Training.
No. I brought that up because my friends in Zelda Universe recently interviewed the actress who played Zelda in the old cartoon.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. But we interviewed the real Zelda, so
That's great.
Oh my.
Man.
But your actual answer.
Actual answer. Lately I've been bouncing back and forth between Majora's Mask and Breath of the
that'll
Wild.
give you heartburn.
Yeah.
If you're bouncing.
Yeah,
This acid reflex, it gets your stomach acids up to your chest. Never mind. It's a bad joke. I'll leave.
Yeah. I just need to kind of like.
He took his headphones off.
Just come back.
He's
Come
so
back.
ashamed. He's
Yeah,
so
he's
ashamed.
back.
He's back.
Man. But I've been bouncing back between Breath of the Wild and Majora's Mask. I think at some point I need to just sit down, play both games back to back, and then just kind of give my thoughts on it. So it's either Majora's Mask or Breath of the Wild, depends on what pants I'm wearing.
What if you're wearing
and then
no pants?
I was just gonna ask the same
How do we know
question.
you're wearing pants right now?
How
no comment.
How do we know any of us are wearing pants?
Yeah, how do we know that any of us are wearing pants?
I'm wearing shorts, actually.
Lying.
No
He's a
pants
fraud.
confirmed.
He's a fraud. He's wearing shorts.
Oh dear.
Well, I'd have to say
guys,
for
one super chat will get those shorts off. I'm kidding. Not that kind of stream. Sorry. I'm sorry, Tevin. Please tell us your answer. Please.
I'd have to say my least favorite is and this is one of the games that I really want to remake for, is Zelda 2. Zelda 2 on the NES. I can play Zelda 1. I haven't beaten it, but I can play Zelda 1. I can't play Zelda 2. I don't like the controls. I think that the game is too non-linear for its own good. I would have liked a little bit more direction in it.
Okay.
I don't hate the concept for that kind of Zelda game. I just think it could have been done a lot better. So
Indeed.
as of now, it is my least favorite Zelda game, at least until I finally tried the CDI games. which I have
Indie
not.
creates
Doesn't count.
the developing. It's like an indie developing studio. Indie creates. I think they're the people that made the Mega Man games. They
Like Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10, or Mega Man 11.
No, like it was the guy who used to make Mega Man, and then he did
KG Inafune. They did Mighty Number 9, right?
I think so.
Yep.
He mentioned that he wants to make his own, like he would like to make Zelda 2, and if I'm thinking right, he's also the guy that made the Capcom Zelda games. But I might have him
Yes.
confused with
Inti creates. I just
the
Googled
people
it.
that made
Formed by ex-Capcom staff, best known for developing Mega Man series,
Yeah,
namely
yeah.
Mega Man Zero, Mega Man ZX, and their flagship Azure Striker Gunvolt and Galgun.
there was an interview where they asked him if they could remake any game or work on any game, he said that he would love to remake Zelda 2. So
Yeah.
and I would like to see it done similar to like the art style of because it has top-down perspective when you're in the overworld. So when it's top-down like that, have it look like A Link Between Worlds or something, and then when it goes 2D, have it look like Metroid: Samus Returns or like a new Super Mario Bros. Game where it's like a 3D character model, but it's like side view 2D. That way it switches between like the top-down when you're outside, and then when you're inside, it's the normal 2D. I think that would be really cool because there's never been a Zelda game like that since.
But I think it should have better real-time combat. That's not just crouching. And
Yeah.
jumping. Or jump crouching, which is...
Yeah, the final battle against Dark Link is just... That's the game. That's the entire game right there. I'm just going to stand in this corner, crouch, and bust his kneecaps.
That's how I win real fights in real life.
you just hide in the corner and start smacking somebody's knees.
Just
Yeah.
pumping.
It works every time.
So what's the next one? Your favorite game? Right. Or did you already answer that?
You already did.
I already answered it.
Okay. Daniel, did you? Did you go, Daniel?
I did not.
I don't think Daniel's
Okay.
gone yet.
No. So this is a hard question. Every time we get asked, we have to answer. Previously on the Hylian Gamescast, I had answered this question, the same question that we'd been asked previously, saying my least favorite was Phantom Hourglass, and the reason being not even that it was a game I disliked, just a game I liked less than the other ones. But mulling it over again and having gone through a bunch of Zelda games on stream on my Twitch channel, which I'll shamelessly plug, twitch.tv/CapBergerson, I think I have to say Zelda 2 as well. And there's so much stuff in there that I really like in that game. But there's also floating laser dog heads that come at you from both sides, and I get so mad about it. It's the only Zelda game to actually make me angry, and I don't remember getting that angry about it, like playing it years ago and stuff like that. I remember like it was hard, and I'd have a big win. And the thing is, there are parts of it that are hard, but then you win, and you're like, yes, it's good. And then there's floating laser dog heads that come at you from both and shoot at you, and there's just weird designs like that are just like just bad design, because not because it's hard. I don't mind a game that's hard, but if you're being shot at from both front and backwards, you cannot use your shield in both directions at the same time. And there are weird design choices like that where it's like, okay, this thing is impossible to avoid. I just have to take the hit. And there's a lot of that, and a lot more than I remembered there being. So, I hate to sound so like the stereotypical Zelda 2 sucks, because it doesn't. I think there's a lot of good stuff in that game, and I remember vehemently defending it for many years, but replaying it recently, I just can't see myself willfully going back to it for any reason other than streaming it for some reason, because people like to watch me be in pain on stream. So, as far as favorite goes, though, that one is a really tough one. But I think at the moment I'm just going to say Breath of the Wild, because I just cannot get bored of it.
Okay.
And ever. It's beautiful. It's bueno. Anyways,
Nice.
That's all I got to say about that.
Luke,
take us away.
Yeah. What is yours?
Right.
Take us away.
All
Gluck
right.
us away.
Gluck us away. Hey.
It's like I'd say that just like smash a glass. It's like instead of Opa. Glucas. Anyways, so
Glucka. Okay. So
dude.
my favorite game, I'm kind of bouncing between Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time. And yes, it is because of randomizers, but I just really love the gameplay of those games, and the stories for those games are super good. but if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Wind Waker over Ocarina of Time, just because I have like slightly more nostalgia for it, so I'm gonna be a little biased about that.
It's okay to be biased when it's your favorite game. Wait, they didn't
Yeah,
say
exactly.
objectively what's the best game objectively, without feelings considered. They said, what's your favorite? So nostalgia is okay to factor in.
Okay. For my least favorite, though, I am definitely going with Triforce Heroes. Definitely.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Maybe I should have said Triforce Heroes, because at least I could finish Zelda 2, and I just put
Triforce
down
Heroes
Triforce Heroes
so much. Like, I don't hate it furiously to an infinite wisdom of demise. Okay. But I've had a super bad experience with the game overall, just because of trolls. I hate how, for this multiplayer Zelda game, everyone shares health. I don't like how they made the single player experience almost impossible to play, because they're trying to enforce that multiplayer experience, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I like the costume idea, but the story was terrible. I hated there was like no exploration. It was a mission-based thing instead of being like this exploration game, and it was just terrible. Like, the entire reason that game even exists is because Nintendo was testing to see if people would like seeing Link wearing different outfits that had like effects on him and shit like that. Sorry for cussing. I didn't mean to. The freaking I just don't like that game. It's terrible. And yet I'm going to be streaming it with some people tomorrow, just so that people can watch me freak out.
But I mean, I feel like the unfortunate thing about Triforce Heroes is that in order to enjoy it, you have to play with your friends. You can't play with random people.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play with your friends, because single player is not good. And that's the reason.
Player's hard just because it's single player in a game that is designed for multiplayer.
Yeah. But here's the weird thing. This is what I don't understand. Nintendo got multiplayer right like 11 years before Triforce Heroes with Four Swords Adventures. Four Swords Adventures is like a beautiful like example, in my opinion, of how multiplayer Zelda can work, because everyone has their own screen for when they do certain things. Everyone has their own health. Everyone gets their own items. Everyone does their own thing, and you work together. And if you want to hurt each other, you can. But like, it's not like recommended. That's for the battle mode. But it's just, they did it so well in Four Swords Adventures, which came out 11 years before Triforce Heroes. And then for Triforce Heroes, they were like, let's do it like this. And it sucked. And I don't understand. I don't get it. And it makes me want to have like a remake of Triforce Heroes or something with better multiplayer. Just like fix the stuff that they messed up.
Some good news. The next Breath of the Wild game is likely going to be multiplayer. So,
Please. I really want it to have multiplayer.
and I believe
I hope it's optional, though.
Yeah, I believe you completely in what you were saying, though, Luke, about... I think Triforce Heroes was literally just a big test that we were all a part of and didn't get paid for. Because I think... because before it came out, Aonuma said that he wanted to make Zelda Wii U, which became Breath of the Wild, not a single-player game. And then Triforce Heroes released. It got poor reception, and suddenly all the multiplayer stuff for Breath of the Wild just kind of vanished into thin air.
It is very much not a multiplayer game.
Yeah. The only thing that I can think of that would be multiplayer in it is, instead of a computer controlling Wolf Link, if a second player could have controlled Wolf Link. And I think that was an idea that they wanted to have. But I also think, like what you said, with all of the clothes giving different abilities and stuff, obviously that was a brand new concept that some people did like. So in Breath of the Wild, they did the same thing and gave you a bunch of different costumes that gave you a bunch of different effects. And yeah. Which is basically Majora's Mask. Because like, you get the mask, like the bomb mask, you can blow yourself up or whatever. So it's all whatever.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, because the bomb mask and Majora's Mask, it's like
So
there's
OP.
outfits in Triforce Heroes, like you get one outfit and it lets you use bombs, which is basically the bomb mask.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask is basically the stone mask in Majora's Mask.
But the weird, it always boggles my mind how the bomb mask in Majora's Mask, you can use the shield to prevent Link from taking damage while using it.
I think that's
But
just
Link holds the shield in front of his face, which is the part that explodes.
I think it's extra programming that they didn't want to do.
Probably.
To where, like, when you
It's
use the
just
bomb
funny.
mask,
Yeah.
it probably just used the same effect as a normal
having
bomb.
a bomb right in
Yeah.
front of you.
And they didn't want to take
Yeah.
the time to reprogram it to have it different. So
Because they didn't have the time.
Let's
they
just-
had no time.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had like what, a year, 6 months?
Something like that.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just for the bomb mask. The hitbox for the bomb is like placed like right in front of where the shield defends. So that's why you can shield in front of the
Oh yeah.
thing.
Well, like
and be able
from
to hit with
a
that.
game mechanics standpoint, I get it. But from like a looking at Link while he's doing it standpoint, it makes no sense.
Well, yeah, like logically, it's like what the heck?
Like,
Like,
what?
Yeah.
The explosion happens here.
So everyone's answered that question?
Yes.
All right. So
I believe so.
Gus Laz, a Patreon supporter, also donated $10.90 in ruples or rupee. I don't know what the R is. But Luke, would you like
Rupees.
to take that question?
Sure.
Is a super
Gus-
chat
Yeah.
for 10?
Gus Les said,
Luke.
Luke,
I think he's dead.
Can you find it?
use the Force.
hello?
Do you want me to read it?
Hello. Hello.
Can you
back.
guys hear me?
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
back.
Yeah.
Okay, I already read the question, but
Oh,
I guess
read
I
it
just
again.
It cut out. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, my internet is being really weird right now.
Also, everyone in the chat, we're only going to be answering one more question. So, unless you're a Patreon supporter, to guarantee your question gets read, you can do a super chat. But if you're a Patreon supporter, you don't have to do a super chat. So, just letting you know, there's one question left after Luke answers this one.
After the Luke question.
So, come on, Luke.
All right.
Gluke us with this.
Gus Les says an unpopular opinion you have about the series. I don't really have any unpopular opinions about the series. I pretty much agree with like a lot of the popular stuff that goes around. If we're talking like those Matt Pat theories, I disagree with those. But like other than that, I don't really have any. If I think of something though, I'll say it.
Okay.
Daniel, you want to go next?
Sure. Unpopular opinion. Spirit Tracks is better than Phantom Hourglass.
Oh.
By and large.
Okay.
Way better.
Oh, I agree with that. Actually.
That's a hot take right there. people don't like that. People are like, oh, it's just more of the same plan and everything. But like, they streamlined the overworld controls by not having it freehand, by having on rails on rails is not necessarily bad. Better HUD elements, better music, better dungeon designs, less redundant dungeon designs. You don't have to, though you do have to return to the Tower of Spirits every time. Similar to the Temple of the Ocean King, you don't have to go through the same floors that you already did every time you go there. You can skip those floors.
That's
Big
true.
improvement there. Better characters, better villains. Burn is like a way cooler villain than or Burn and Malladus are cooler villains than Bellum is. Bellum is the most uninteresting villain in the Zelda series, in my opinion. He's just like evil. Doesn't have any dialogue. Just
Blur.
it's plot MacGuffin of evil. They're just like, this is a bad guy. Just trust us. He's the bad guy. Really,
He's
he
bad.
is.
Oh, he's bad.
Zelda as a companion is a way better fairies. There's just so much better about Spirit Tracks, and the music is bueno. It really has the only problem with the music is that the DS itself does not do the music justice. It really doesn't.
Okay.
So that's my hot take.
Okay.
This is
Alright.
well, thanks for coming to my TED Talk, everybody.
I just thought of one actually.
Oh, great.
I like the motion controls in Skyward Sword.
Oh. Me too.
I like
Yeah,
them
Me
too.
three. Me three.
So many people say that the motion controls suck in that game, and I'm like, what do you mean? they're
Why?
really good. Like obviously it has its problems because of the sensor bar and stuff, but like when you have it positioned properly, it doesn't become a problem, and then you can just play it, and it's good.
Okay.
And
You
and like
actually reminded me of another one, but finish up.
and like some people probably have those problems because of like damaged Wii remote or something like that.
Mhm.
Or there could be tons of reasons. Like I don't know. Like you got your problems, I got mine, whatever. But for me, I barely had any problems with the motion controls, and I really liked it. And even when they did get flimsy, I didn't like get super mad about it. I just like fixed it and then kept playing.
There's also a very handy recenter button.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
motion
Yeah.
controls. Just-
There's the calibration button, so you can just
Mhm.
click that and then you redo it. I mean, there is one time where I had to recalibrate it like 5 times in a single dungeon room, and that made me not even a little, it made me kind of angry. But besides that, I didn't really have to deal with Skyward Sword's stuff. And that's over like 5-6 playthroughs of the game, 100% completion. So I barely had any problems with it.
Though you did remind me another hot take, unpopular opinion. The controls for the bow, the pointer controls in the Wii version of Twilight Princess are better than the bow controls in Skyward Sword.
Yo,
Oh.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that. I love using the bow in the Wii version of Twilight Princess. It feels so cool.
It's fun. I like using it.
Happy. The bow in Skyward Sword is the only item I don't like in that game.
Oh,
It's
okay.
one of the only times in a Zelda game I don't like the bow. Skyward Sword just kills it for me. It's too, and the reason, just the one reason, is too slow to use. Twilight Princess, the bow is snappy. You know, bow, you just, and he just fires it, and it's sharp, and it's quick and deadly. In Skyward Sword, you're like, okay, time to use the bow. Okay, all right. Now that I'm aiming, now that I've aimed it,
Wait,
do the
Dan-
drawback thing, and then it's too slow to use.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Daniel,
Wow.
do you hold A and let it charge, or do you hold C and pull it back?
I can't remember. I think I remember trying both methods actually, and both of them felt too slow to me. Because in
Okay.
the pointer controls in Twilight Princess, it is a button push. It is a point of your wrist and a button push, and that was it. And you
Okay.
could just fire like super quickly.
Okay.
But anyway, it's been actually a few years since I played Skyward Sword, so I don't remember exactly which one I'm preferring, but I remember
Okay.
hating both of them.
Okay.
But yes, there. I'm done with my hot takes now.
Okay. Really quick, for me, I will say that I would absolutely love, for 2 reasons. One, I would just genuinely like a full 3D multiplayer Zelda game, like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, or whatever, Breath of the Wild being multiplayer. But for the second reason, every single time Aonuma releases a new Zelda game and he is asked what he wants to work on next, every single time he says he wants to take whatever multiplayer was from the last multiplayer game, whether at the time it was Four Swords Adventures or Triforce Heroes, it changes after a new one comes out, and he wants to combine it with the engine from whatever the newest full 3D Zelda game is. So like he always ends up saying that, but it never happens. But I think with Breath of the Wild 2, it might happen, because now not only is it him saying it, but the CEO of Nintendo, the new CEO, has also been in interviews saying that they want to push the online service with
Yes.
their big and popular games, and nothing
So
was
Breath of the
bigger
Wild
than
2
Breath of the Wild.
Gonna have multiplayer, but it's gonna be subscription based, and there's gonna be loot boxes. No.
No.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Microtransactions.
Transactions.
To buy
To
rupees.
get bombs, you need to buy rupees in real life with real money.
For $3.99, you can get the Master AK-47.
Oh no. Thankfully, that is not the Nintendo way. Oh. Yikes.
Oh
What?
man.
Jesse.
Did everyone give their?
I'm so sorry.
I don't know if I gave mine or not.
You did not.
I did not. Okay.
Give us that spicy hot take.
My hot take. I mentioned
Whoa.
it earlier.
That was too hot.
I mentioned it earlier, but me and Daniel, I think we're one of the only couple of people who liked the buying items mechanic in Link Between Worlds.
Yes.
If I had to pick something different, I think Twilight Princess is better than Ocarina of Time. Don't at me.
Oof,
So here's the thing, for
yes
that
and no.
Twilight Princess, like when they finally set on it being Twilight Princess, not Wind Waker 2 or Ocarina of Time 3 or whatever, they wanted to, like the main purpose of Twilight Princess was to do everything that they wanted to do with Ocarina of Time, but they weren't able to, which is why
They still weren't able to in the end, though.
yeah, which is why you start the game off at the in the southern area in like a big forested area or whatever, and then you have to earn the sword and shield or whatever in a similar manner. The first dungeon is a forest dungeon, the second dungeon is the fire dungeon, the third dungeon is the water dungeon. Something crazy happens in Ocarina of Time. You can go back and forth through time. And Twilight Princess, you get
Doggo.
you get Doggo.
Get the doggo.
You become Doggo.
I think specifically it's the cutscene happens to where it's like, oh, we got all the shards or something like that, and then you're talking to Lanayru, the giant snake
Xant
eel
is just
person,
Zant,
and Zant
Zant just
comes
comes in and
and
says,
like,
"Lol, nope," and
Yeah,
takes all your
no.
shards.
Yeah, so there's that big twist that happens in Ocarina of Time, and then the
Also,
big
you-
twist
your
happens.
mic's cut out.
Nope.
Your mic cut out there, Demi, so it's not like he said he took your shard.
But one of the things that Miyamoto wanted to do in Ocarina of Time that he wasn't able to do until Twilight Princess was he always wanted Link to be able to swing his sword on Epona. Really simple, right? Just swing a sword on Epona. The Nintendo 64 was literally not powerful enough to allow Link to swing a sword while riding Epona.
It was a lol nope.
Think about everything the Nintendo 64 does, even with the expansion pack. And it still did not have the processing power to allow Link, while riding on Epona, to swing a sword. Now, you can kind of glitch Majora's Mask to get Zora Link on Epona or Goron Link on Epona. But if you do the B press thing, where your Zora Link, you'll throw the boomerangs and the game will freeze. If you get Fierce Deity Link on Epona, you're thinking, well,
Also,
he always has a sword out. So
He's too big.
yeah, but it's gonna be
Poor
like,
Epona.
well, what's he gonna do? Because you have, he always has the sword out. So surely he would be able to swing the sword. But as soon as you go to swing the sword as Fierce Deity Link on Epona, the game crashes. So even glitching, bugging the game to try and force it to allow you to swing a sword while on Epona, the game just breaks. And I actually have a video of combining those different glitches to get Fierce Deity Link on Epona inside Clocktown. There's a video that I have on. It's
I
actually
just feel bad for Epona.
it's actually the only video on YouTube of the glitch. So I feel really cool about that.
Yeah, don't give anyone any ideas now.
Yeah.
As soon as you do that, there's now 30 of them.
But yeah, Fierce,
yeah?
Fierce Deity, if Epona is here and normal Link rides him the legs down the side like normal, Fierce Deity Link is just like hovering over Epona like this.
He's
So,
too
like,
tall.
Yeah, he's
His
just
feet are
like
dragging on the ground.
no, he's floating like 3 feet above Epona because Epona is like a little baby in that game. Which also doesn't make sense for Wind Waker because they said they wanted to put Epona in Wind Waker, but Child Link's dimensions, like he didn't look right riding on Epona. And I'm like, well, why, like, if you don't think his hands are long enough to like reach the saddle and the brides on Epona, why not give him little Epona, like in Majora's Mask, that he can
just
ride?
take this.
Yeah, like just
I'm
make.
sure they could make a cartoon horse that looks okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's like he doesn't have to, like his hands don't have to be reaching out that far. You have like the bridle and saddle and everything where you're holding the rope. Like just make the rope really long. I don't know. But yeah, that's just my
Or
thoughts.
just have him standing doing T-pose on the horse.
Yeah,
No.
but that's just my thing. Do we have anything left? Anyone
You
else
said
with the?
one more question?
Yeah, one more question. Tevi, pick out a question.
Okay. I had this one.
We have the. Okay, sorry.
Write down a little bit. This one is from one of our Patreon supporters, Amanda. She asks, "What game would you like to see? What game would you most like to see a prequel for?"
Ooh.
I was talking about this earlier today on my actually. Not for the same reasons that other people want it, but a Breath of the Wild prequel. Not everyone says, including Jesse. I'm calling you out here. Everyone's like, "Oh, I want to see Hyrule was destroyed." You know, like when there's a full castle town. And yes, I want to see that too. But I also want to know how Link got the friggin' Master Sword because he had to have gone through and proven himself and done some kind of trials to get that.
Yeah.
So what happened before all that? What was his backstory here? There's just, you know, there's just so many unanswered questions. So that's what I want to see. But that's me. That's all I gotta say now.
Personally, I kind of want to see a prequel game that takes place between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. I just kind of want to see, like, I want a third Hero of Time game, essentially. I just want to see, like, what happened to Link from when he got out of Termina to the point where he became, Ghost Man, Skeleton Dude.
Pokey poke.
Yeah. So I just want to see like a final chapter for the Hero of Time because debatably he is the most popular incarnation of Link, and I really would love to have a third game for him just to kind of like truly end his story.
True. Oh, we've been glooked.
I'm back.
He back. But yes, that's a goodie. A lot of people want that, and I think that would be. I don't think they're gonna do it, but that'd be sweet.
My internet went full kamikaze.
That's not good.
Yeah.
All right, I have 2 ideas. One, the Hero of Men for the prequel of Minish Cap that they talk about. That was a link that we did not see. Okay, actually 3. The second could be the original hero from Skyward Sword. Not the manga comic thing that's in Hyrule Historia, but like the actual original hero that fought along.
Is that one canon?
No.
Like, is that Link? It's not? Okay.
No. It was just included in to give more value to the book. Because the events that
As if
happen
we weren't
inside
already
it,
gonna buy it.
yeah, the events that happen in the book are different than the events that happen that the game tells you. Like in Ocarina of Time, nowhere in Ocarina of Time does Link adopt a baby dragon from the bazaar in Hyrule Castle Town. Although
And that somehow turns into the dragon from the Death Mountain dungeon.
Yeah. Instead of Ganondorf bringing the dragon back to life because the old hero killed it thousands or hundreds of years ago, you just adopt it as a baby, and then during the 7-year time skip, it grows up and turns evil and stuff. You also fight Queen Goma outside of the Deku Tree, and it's more of a conversation and less of a fight where the spider's just talking to you.
Goma
So.
talking seems weird.
Yeah, outside of the
kind of
big
glad
picture.
they're not canon now.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of weird.
So there's that, and then A Link Between Worlds hints at the old man wearing the green tunic being the same Link from Oracle of Ages and Seasons and Link's Awakening and Ocarina of Time. Not Ocarina of Time, A Link to the Past. So it... What? Yeah, the old man. Because, like, one guy tells you that, like, he used to go on a bunch of adventures or something like that, and then after you fight all of the different versions of Shadow Link or Dark Link in the game, the very last one is you fighting him. And he has weapons that only he would be able to get if he went on similar adventures to yourself. So it's thought that Old Man is just Old Man Link from A Link to the Past. So
my boy Celtic has a real good video about it, actually.
So do I. I have one a long time ago that I made.
What?
Yeah.
Plug.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, it's
send me a link to that video. No pun intended.
It's less of a video about him being Link and more of a video about discussing whether or not two people could embody the spirit of the hero at the same time.
Okay.
And it talks a little bit about Twilight Princess, but in Twilight Princess, it's like one's technically dead and one's alive. And then in the other one, it's like he's alive, he's actually there and stuff. So
if let's say like all incarnations of Link have to be dead before the next one comes out, or not comes out, but like awakens as the spirit of the hero, you mean to tell me that in Wind Waker, Nico outlives Link by like 100 years?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
How does this happen?
Wait, what?
Because Nico, the pirate, is a really old man in Spirit Tracks. So that means that Nico, if every hero has to be dead before the next one can awaken, that means Nico would have had to have outlived Link.
Maybe Link died from the new Hyrule version of polio. I don't know.
Oh
my god.
Dear. Oh no. I always thought it was pretty much like, yeah, he's probably dead.
Yeah, he did.
Dead. Him, it's like generations. Because like Tetra is supposed to have been that Zelda's grandmother.
Yeah, so Nico must have lived for a long... And the Linebeck that's in the game, I think he's the grandson of the original Linebeck.
Dude.
Yeah.
Spirit Tracks Link's voice is so annoying to me, and I don't even know why.
I don't know. I don't find it that bad.
It's so annoying, especially when you fall off a cliff and you hear him like scream, because he's like, "Rah!" And I'm like,
he's falling off a cliff. That's why.
But like all the other ones are like, they don't sound like screeches, and I'm like, eh.
Did you guys ever play the Game Boy Advance version of Link to the Past?
Oh, I hate it that they added the voice clips.
Yeah, they did the voice clips from Young Link in Ocarina of Time, and it's every time he swings his sword, so it sounds like Link's just plucking a nose hair with each swing.
I hate
It's
it.
not good. It's not good.
No good.
No.
No.
Not good. Not good.
Nope.
Oh, shoot.
Oh.
Damn.
It's the most unnecessary addition to the game.
Yeah. Like, at least with, like, Link Between Worlds, you know, when they added voice clips for Link in that game, it was only when he did certain actions, not when he, like swinging
falling
his sword.
off a cliff, for example.
Yeah. Falling off a cliff, getting damaged, using, like, the super powerful items, the spin attack, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So really quick for everyone who is still watching, if you want to join our Discord, I just posted a link. You can join our Discord and chat with us and talk to us whenever we're on. It's been a while since I've checked, but we have the largest and most popular dedicated Zelda Discord in the world.
Yay!
So that's really cool.
We did it, boys.
They doubted us, but no, we did
We
it.
did it.
No, it's really a cool accomplishment. Because, like, whenever I've been to other Zelda YouTube people's Discord server, like, either they're just never in it, or they're only there sometimes, and there's always people talking about, like, oh, this is dead, or, like, it'll just be, like, a huge event once they finally do start talking. But
Yeah.
it has been a while since I've been to other things. And
There
then
are
the websites...
1,123 members in the Discord.
Yeah, and then other Zelda websites don't have as many people either. So, yeah. And I think it's because of this podcast, because we're always talking to the fans and stuff.
And saying hi in the sneaky.
Yeah. But anyways, I guess that's everything. So, Luke, go ahead and tell us who you are and why we love you.
Okay.
Tell us.
So, I am 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿, and I'm very glad I got to be on this episode of the Hylian Gamescast. Thank you, Daniel and Jesse, for having me on. I appreciate it. So you can find me right here on YouTube, 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿. And if you want to check out my Twitter, that's @HyruleandLuke. You can watch me on Twitch, which is 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿. And I also am a part of this Nintendo community called N10. It's super awesome, and we all kind of just like support each other, and we make content, and like we're all really good friends. It's an awesome community. If you want to be a part of that community, just come on over to my channel. You can check it out there.
But isn't there, like, haven't you hit a cap? There can only be 10. So if someone new joins the community, you have to kill, like, someone else already there? Is that...
No, we have
just oust them, like, just...
we have an add-on to it
burn
called
their channel.
we have an add-on to it called N10 Plus, so other YouTubers can be in the group.
Which is a subscription-based service with loot
Yes.
boxes.
Yeah, right.
Got you.
Oh,
Go
Lord.
on, no.
I'm
so sorry.
No, that was beautiful. I loved that. Okay. But yeah, so I, for one, if you love Zelda randomizers, I know Daniel doesn't. He hates those things. But
I feel so called out. But it's true.
Okay, but I stream Zelda randomizers like almost whenever I stream. I'm doing a Wind Waker randomizer playthrough right now on my channel, and I'm also streaming Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time randomizers on my channel. So I think I'll be doing one tomorrow, actually. No, not tomorrow. I'm going to be doing Triforce Heroes with That Bald Gamer tomorrow. So it'll be pretty fun. And probably Monday I'll be continuing that. So if you want to check out my channel, feel free. And I've also got 2 Discord servers, one for the N10 community, and the second one is my personal Discord. You can check all that out over on my channel. So if you want to support anything I do, feel free to check that out.
Yay, thanks for gluking.
Hey.
I
Hashtag
may
thanks
not
for
like-
Gluke.
Thanks for gluking. I may not like randomized, but gosh, I sure like you.
Tevy, tell us who is the man, the myth, the legend, and who's Tevy?
Hi, so I'm Tevy. I do stuffs. I'm very distracted by that Borderlands mask.
This is very
that is
terrifying.
a pretty cool mask.
We got
I'm
it
not
at
gonna lie.
E3. They're supposed to be sending the game to us, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
for
I guess-
PC, and I don't play PC, so...
I guess I have mine too.
Daniel, you have yours. Everybody has a mask except for me and Gluke.
Poor Gluke.
So
Or
two.
Gluke.
They had flowers too, but we didn't get flowers.
Yeah.
They had a giant
okay.
wall of roses.
So I just started doing live streaming not too long ago. I'm kind of working at getting affiliate status. So if you guys could do me a favor, go to twitch.tv/TevyBear2018. You guys can go ahead and follow me, keep up with what I'll be doing. Actually today we just finished up our playthrough of Metroid Zero Mission. I'm not sure when the next time we're going to be streaming is, but
Metroid
next time
He's my favorite character.
I love
Don't say
Metroid.
it,
He's
Jesse.
my favorite Zelda character.
Oh no.
He's like Mega Man's
Yeah.
cousin or something.
Yeah.
Mm,
We are 20 followers away from
just
Reaching-
kidding. Sorry.
we're 20 followers away from reaching affiliate status. So if you guys could support me, that'd be awesome. You can check me out on Twitter at @TabbyBear. I do not have a dedicated Discord because I'm not awesome like Luke. And I'm hopefully going to be launching a YouTube channel sometime soon. I'm still getting some kinks worked out and getting some branding in order. So yeah, twitch.tv/TabbyBear2018. I believe the next game we're doing is Sonic Mania, and then after Sonic Mania, we're going to be doing Link to the Past. So,
Nice.
yeah, you guys
How
like
many people do
guys
you
like.
need?
19, because I just dropped a follow. So.
Thanks, Daniel.
I'll go follow too.
Yeah,
But I was
Jesse,
gonna
I think
say,
you're already followed.
Oh, I was gonna say you can
Do two.
if you want. You can do a stream on my YouTube, and then like dual stream on my YouTube and then your Twitch, and ask the people that watch you on my YouTube to go and watch on your Twitch.
Okay.
I've done that with like Luke. Luke's done it before. Holly Wolf did it. Maya did it. CC's done it. Basically anyone who has a Twitter or not a Twitter, a Twitch or a YouTube channel that are like trying to build up or whatever, then I try to help as much as I can. And by helping, I mean just getting my YouTube people to go follow them.
Thank you, Jesse.
Which
I
does
appreciate
work.
it.
That's
very
how
much. And
the Gloop-
thank you.
That's how Gloop came about.
Yeah, that's how Gluke. Because I streamed on his channel, and people were calling me Game Over Luke, and then Gluke for short, and I was like,
Wow.
"Hey, I'll roll with."
Hey,
Watch your glucose levels and
Someone literally said that they were like, "Hey, Gluke, watch your glucose, ha!" And I was like, "Okay,
all right.
okay."
Yeah, so Jesse, Daniel, thank you guys so much for having me on the Hylian Gamescast. It's an honor to be here, and I hope to be in future ones.
Yay. They were so close to
nice.
just like telling you no earlier, and I was like, come on, guys.
No, it wasn't like that.
Oh
But,
yeah, sure, Daniel.
No, it was actually me. I'm like, do we need a fourth person? And I was like, yeah, go ahead, bring him on. So,
But
Yeah,
for
thank
those
you guys.
who,
I appreciate it.
Already follow me, you might notice that Tevi's icon looks similar to mine, and that's because he's the man behind the creation of my little Cap Bergerson icon, as well as my emote on Twitch. So he did some commissions for me. So that very familiar little weird Cap Bergerson face it's like the Smash stock icon that I
Yeah.
just used the hell out of on everything I do. Tevi's the man to thank. So
You're welcome, Daniel. I was very happy to do that for you.
I was just super thrilled to have it. So yeah, I guess I am also here. I'm Daniel. I'm Cap Ferguson. If you don't know already, that goes for Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, at Capt Ferguson, and also very recently Patreon. But absolutely, just you can go laugh at the tier names and don't feel zero obligations there. But I only set that up because people asked. So, but yes, I try and stream twice a week. I'm looking at altering my stream schedule a little bit, but on Twitch is mostly I stream twice a week and then re-upload archive things onto my YouTube channel, which is also Cap Bergerson, and along with the MISC video if I have the time to make them, which is not as often as I'd like. So that's me. Otherwise, if you just like the sound of my voice, I'm here every week on this very podcast as well. So
And last, but not least,
oh, me.
old Jessup,
Yeah, so earlier
tell us a story.
I posted our Discord link for anyone who wants to join our Discord. If you join our Discord, we have a section where we just discuss Zelda theories. I also have a top 5 series that we used to do every week. I just brought it back this past week. So if you go there and you post whatever your favorite Zelda theory is, or if you post it on our top 5 Zelda theory video that, again, comes out every week, I'll go through and pick out 5 of whatever the best of those theories are and put them into a video where usually it's me and one other person. I think Luke was on one with 𝐓𝐿𝐼, and then I had Miss Click on one, and then a couple were just myself. So it's just basically whoever I can get to come on at the time, and we discuss the 5 theories, pick out our favorite from it, and then if you win, then your theory gets moved to an end of the month top 5 video that consists of all of the other winners from the other weekly videos. So it's like a video just full of whatever the best theories were throughout the month, and then whoever wins that gets an Amiibo of their choice or a $20 eShop card. And so you can join our Discord to join the Zelda theory thing and put your theory there. It doesn't have to be one that you made up. It can just be literally whatever your favorite Zelda theory is. Like if your favorite Zelda theory is, I have no idea, the Triforce, I guess. Or if you have a neat idea about the Spirit Temple from Ocarina of Time or something, then you can just put your theory there. Again, it doesn't have to be something that you came up with, but it is preferred. That way you're not taking credit from someone else. But honestly, no matter what idea or theory you come up with, there's probably 100 other people that had the exact same idea. So who knows who really created stuff. As long as it's not like Link is dead or anything. And then I posted the link to where you can buy some 𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐼𝐺𝐺𝐻 shirts or whatever that none of us is wearing at the moment, but they're still there, trust me. They're cool. There was a bunch of people that was wearing them when we went to E3, so it was cool walking around seeing everyone wearing the shirts too, like me, Daniel, Kayla, Maya, Gibbs, some other people. And then it also helped us get noticed as well when people would come up to us. It makes me miss E3, just all the people coming up and like, hey, let's take a picture.
It was so nice. Just that was the best part. Like the games, all that stuff was fun, but meeting everybody,
Yeah.
like that social coming together of all these like-minded people was absolutely the best part.
And then
Also our sleepovers.
yeah. Finally, I can say that Daniel, Kayla, and I are all sponsored by 𝐸WIN. So if you go to 𝐸WIN Racing's website and just use the code GOJ for 𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐼𝐺, you can get 15% off of a chair. They usually have
Believe me,
big
folks, that
sales.
15% makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But it is very comfy.
Yeah. And then what else is there? Kayla, I don't know, I forgot what it was called, but Kayla or 𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐺 does the unboxing of like the Japanese candy stuff. People seem to
Tokyo
like
Treat?
that. Yeah. That's cheaper than a chair. So if you go watch that video and you have like $10 but you want really awesome Japanese candy and drinks, or if you just want to watch some random fake gamer girl eat Japanese treats, then you can,
Oh my god.
Oh no.
you can go there and watch that.
No.
Not my mom.
It's a cool video though. I'm trying to think of, is there anything else?
How many people does she say are her children?
I have no everyone
many.
at this point.
So many.
I think that's
Except
everything.
for me.
Here is everyone's Instagram. Like if you just look in the description, there's links organized for everything. So like it has the Patreon and Discord at the top. And then it has all of our Twitter links, which Geek Apprentice doesn't have a Twitter, so hers isn't there, but she has an Instagram.
I
No,
thought she created one recently. Or did she delete that?
I don't know. But then there's the Instagram where you can follow all of us, and then there is Daniel's YouTube channel, and then Ilya's YouTube channel where they both post their own stuff, so you can go and follow them. There's the 15% off for either a gaming chair or a gaming desk, and then the Teespring for the shirts. So you can, like, I don't know anything else to plug except Luke, and yeah, just follow everyone, right? Yeah, just go give everyone a follow.
Follow me, set me free. Trust me, and we will escape from the city. Hey, somebody got it.
Of course, you can actually join video chats and stuff like this when we have our podcast. If you watch, or like if you watch the podcast and you want to be on the podcast, you can become a Patreon supporter, and you can join on the podcast as well. Or you can just give us ideas and stuff to discuss. I don't know what else there is. There's nothing else, right?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. So again, really quick, Luke, where can people find you?
Oh, we're doing this again. Okay.
Oh, we're
No,
doing
just
ready for round
just
two.
your Twitter.
Here we go. Round two, boys.
Just your Twitter as a refresh for everyone. Just your Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hyrule
Twitter's
Gamer,
different.
you'll have to come on the
Twitter's weird.
podcast next week, Hyrule Gamer. So
Okay, so my Twitter is at Hyrulean Luke. It's not Hylian Luke. Someone stole it. They're a fake. Okay, my
fake.
Twitter. My
They're
Twitter.
not
is...
the real Gluke.
Exactly right. That's what I'm saying. So my Twitter is at Hyrulean Luke. So if you want to follow me, be sure to follow me there.
all right, post it in the chat. And Tevi, what is your Twitter for people to follow you?
I gotta go back to the chat real quick. But my Twitter is at TeviBear. You can find a majority of my stuff there. Just a second, I gotta get the chat pulled back.
Just for one day, can you change? Just for April Fool's Day, change your Twitter to Tevin Bairn.
Bairn?
Tevin Bairn.
Why?
just for one
Like
day.
the Berenstein Bear? I don't... What's Baron?
Or like instead of bear, like bear, it's like a barren wasteland.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
And then finally,
I just
Daniel, where
needed
can
the
people
end
find
there
you?
for Tevin. But yes, I'm Capt Bergerson. CaptBurgerson. As in it's burger. I'm the captain and the burger, and the burger had the
Nice.
burger. The captain is the burgers. That's me.
Oh yeah, finally, I did forget. This microphone that I've been using, you'll notice I'm using a lapel microphone instead of the normal microphone because I'm testing out
Even
some
though
stuff.
he doesn't have a lapel on his shirt.
No.
How dare you, Jessup?
Sacrilege.
Anyway,
What's the other word for it? It's a lapel microphone or it's a
lavalier.
lavalier microphone, yes.
Yeah.
So I
All
bought
this big terminology, I
yeah.
can't
I
understand it.
bought some of them because I was looking for headsets that had a good microphone because I got tired of doing live streams and having like a microphone stand and everything. I was like, it would just be easier if I had headphones with the microphone. But I looked at a bunch of reviews and I could not find any headsets that were cheap with a good microphone. Even like $200-300 headsets had horrible microphones. So I was like, I'll just buy a cheap, good microphone that I can put on, like, just literally put it on the cable for the headphones, and then, yeah, it works out. But I'm going to be doing a review of these because we're going to start using them whenever we do interviews. Like, we interviewed the people from IGN at last year's E3 and stuff, and then we were going to interview some more people, but it's kind of hard to interview people when you're just like holding a phone up to their face. So we're going to be more professional next time, and we're going to be like using these and stuff when we interview people. So I'm testing them all out now to see what sounds the best and everything, and what's the least hassle.
That includes putting them in his mouth.
Yeah, I did that earlier.
Yeah, and I had my headphones.
Hello.
God.
Hello.
Okay.
How you feeling?
not the ASMR I signed up for.
No, please.
I don't know if this is the ASMR anybody signed up for.
Yeah, but I'm gonna start using
Nothing like
these
those
on
mouth sounds.
live streams and stuff. And I'm only going to
Mine sounds really good. I really like the quality on it. You sound great.
Well, there's two of them, and there was supposed to be a switch
Mine
that
goes
lets
in
you
the
turn
mouth.
it from mono to stereo, so you can just use one. But I don't know, like that button just magically not on mine. So, but I bought this, and then I bought some really cheap ones that were like $3 for $5 because I was like, why not? Just have some for like comparison's sake, and then yeah. Oh yeah, there's a ghost behind you, Luke.
What?
Oh, you in the car?
Yeah, get debated.
Yeah. The car. That's where the ghost drove in from.
Yeah.
Drove in.
But anyways,
Beep beep.
thank you everyone for watching. We've been saying bye for like 30 minutes because I suck at bye. But thank you, Candy and Jorge and Nintendo Cisco and Seth and KP and everyone else. Hyrule Gamer, you need to come on the podcast sometime. Everyone,
Yes.
thank you so much
Bring
for watching.
that sweet voice over here to the podcast, Hyrule
Yeah.
Gamer.
Right.
It's like marshmallows.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.